Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Good morning, folks. My name is Glenn Siegel. I'm the special magistrate, and I'll be hearing and deciding the cases today. So if everybody please take their seats so that we can begin the meeting. And if you have any, yeah, it is. And if you have any electronic devices, if you just silence those at this time. And we'd ask that you keep in mind that everything that transpires in today's meeting is being televised on Charlotte County CCTV, so anything that happens in the courtroom may be shown on TV. If everybody would please stand and join me for the...
Okay. Thank you.
Join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, folks. Please be seated. I'm going to lean forward a little bit because apparently my mic's not working very well. This is a quasi-judicial hearing subject to the Florida Sunshine Act, and I have to disclose whether or not I've had any contact orally or in writing with any person who has an interest in any of the matters that are on the agenda today, and I must recuse myself from voting on any matter that I have a personal interest or knowledge concerning the subject. I've reviewed the agenda. They can't?
Let them know, yeah.
Do what?
Go ahead, he's going to let them know.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm just returning that to you. All right, this is an important announcement. If you anticipate taking the podium today and offering any testimony, or even if you think you're going to, would you please stand up and raise your right hand? The clerk will administer the oath. We do that just so that we don't have to keep doing it repeatedly.
And anyone that's going to give testimony today, please stand up so I can swear you in. And raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give today is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? If so, say, I do. I do. Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you for your assistance, folks. We're up to agenda item 4. Our next meeting date will be March 7, 2018.
Get over here.
Agenda item 5, citizen input. This is a portion of the meeting where if you want to address myself and make any public comment relating to any matter on the agenda, you're welcome to do so now. If you have a case, we'll call that separately. But if you have any other comment unrelated to why you're here, then you're welcome to take the podium at this time. Okay, the record will reflect we have no takers. Agenda changes are item 6.
Okay. We have people here for the following cases. I'm going to read just the item number, not the code case number. It's item number 23, 24, 26, 28, 36, 44, 47, 62, and that's under the affidavits of noncompliance.
Yeah.
New business cases, we have continued B. We have someone here for D, F, G, H, M, P. We've continued BB. We've dismissed AA. We have someone here for FF and OO. And these are the additions that I just received. We have for the affidavits 31, 22, 63, 68, and 59. New business, E, and then KK.
Thank you. you're here and the clerk didn't call your number or letter, if you'd let the folks in the back know, we'll make sure you get listed. Agenda item 7, unfinished business, we have none. Same with agenda item 8, old business, we have nothing, which takes us to agenda I, the consent affidavits. I'm going to do 28 first. Okay. The first case we're going to call is agenda item 28, COD 16-185, Irene Williams. If you're here on that matter, please approach the podium. Your name, sir? And
morning, Glenn. Walter Grace. I'm here for the lender, not for Ms. Williams.
okay, sir. Bear with me just a minute, please. We have a folder. Irene Williams. She's getting the file.
Oh, yeah.
You did say 28, right? I don't. Yeah, if you'll just double check me on these. I haven't had time to write them all down.
I know you haven't.
Okay. If the county's ready to proceed, your first witness, please.
Officer Roadhorst.
Good morning, Gary Roadhorst, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. This case, excuse me just a minute, this case originally came before you on August 4th of 2016, finding prohibited uses and structures, junk-like conditions, exterior structure, and protective equipment or protective treatment. On December 13th of 2017, I conducted an inspection on the property, finding that the property owner was still in violation of the junk-like conditions and outside storage. This is the 5th affidavit non-compliance, and this came on due to a complaint, an additional complaint. I'm asking for a 1-day fine in the amount of $50 plus the fees.
Okay. Anything further from the county?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Counsel?
Your Honor, the lender here is simply that. There was this is a reverse mortgage situation. There was a prior foreclosure proceeding that was dismissed. So the lender has no proprietary interest here. There's nothing they can do with regard to the property.
Sure. Why was the case dismissed?
I couldn't tell you that. Don't know.
No. Anything further? All right. Based on the testimony and the fact of the non-appearance of the actual owner, I'm going to go ahead and affirm that affidavit as stated. There's a procedure that, if the bank does acquire title to the property, that you can apply for a reduction, but we'll just wait and see if that happens. I guess the bank will have to refile. Okay. Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move to agenda item 47, COD 172032, Willie Lignow. If you're present on that. Would you state your appearance, please?
Brian Kessler on behalf of Willie Lignow, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. If you bear with me for a minute, counsel, got to get the files. I went to 47. Where they from? Lignow. Right there. Okay. We ready to proceed?
Yes.
Okay, so then, thank you.
Paul Davis, Code Compliance Officer of Charlotte County. This is a first affidavit of noncompliance. The original date was October 4th, or November 2017. The address of the violation was 21850 Edgewater Drive, and on November 21st, 2017, I re-inspected the property and found that the original problems were still there. It's international property maintenance on the swimming pool, exterior structure, protective treatment, and roof and drainage. So we're asking for a one-day fine of $50 plus $10 for cost of recording and recording the lien, which would be a total of $70.
Anything further from the county?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
How are you today?
Doing fine, thank you.
Let me refresh your recollection on this case, since it has been a few months since I have been here. But this is the case where of the overzealous neighbors, in which they're looking over this piece of property and calling in complaints to Mr. Davis on a regular basis. When I was here in November of last year, October of last year, I informed the court that my client, who is in his early 80s, acquired this property via intestate succession from his deceased son. He's in his early 80s in a nursing home in the state of New Jersey and has limited financial means. The neighbors next door put a cloud on the title to the property. I received a declaratory judgment from Judge Lisa Porter granting investing title in my property, or in my client, quieting title. And then the neighbors proceeded to file a appeal with the second DCA. Unfortunately, the clerk of the court has not even issued an index on the appeal for 6 months yet. So I know the second has issued an order directing them to file serve an index upon the parties, which has come and gone. No index has been received yet. Unfortunately, due to the nature of the situation with the clerk's office, I suspect that this appeal is going to last considerably longer than the appeals that I'm accustomed to out of Sarasota County and Manatee County that go to the second. All we ask is the county's goodwill. We do have the property under contract. It's just we can't issue a title insurance policy until the second has ruled on what I'll call a frivolous appeal. So our hands are tied. There is nothing that we can do. My client is not in a position to be able to come down from New Jersey and do the repairs himself, and he has no financial resources to be able to do that. So we're at the mercy of the county. Of course, maybe perhaps the county would like the property and all the problems that come with it. Maybe. I don't know. But, you know.
Oh, Your Honor.
I think all those taxpayers out there would be a little upset about that.
Your Honor, all the county seeks is compliance.
So, and unfortunately, we can't. You can't obtain compliance because my client is unable to do it. Not that he's unwilling, but he's physically and financially unable to do it. And the person that we have the property under contract with is going to come in and make the property compliant. So, but
So I take it then that there's no evidence that you have that those conditions that the officer testified weren't present on November 21st of 17?
No, Your Honor. Other than the pool, the front yard was cleaned up, the trash and debris was removed, and the pool was, there was some mosquito repellent that was thrown into the pool. The roof is a structural condition that we're not in a position to be able to repair, and I don't know what the other stuff was that the county is complaining of, but...
Alrighty. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and although I can understand the difficult situation Mr. Lignow is in, I'm going to affirm the affidavit it's stated, and that will be my ruling. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's all I see that there's attorneys for affidavits.
Yeah, that's the only ones, or is there another one?
There's only 2 for affidavits.
Okay.
No.
So now I'll go back to the owners then. The beginning and end. Okay, so the first one I have then is agenda item 22.
22, 23, 24.
26.
6,
Okay.
31,
31.
and 36 for that page.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go to agenda item 22, COD 17832. Thelma Nickerson, if you're present on that matter, please approach the podium. I'm sorry?
You want me to take that file?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Will you state your name and address, sir?
Michael Nickerson, 10175 Rafferty Avenue, Inglewood.
And what is your relationship to...
It's my mother.
Okay, thank you. The way we're going to proceed this morning is the county will go first like we've been doing, and then you'll have a fair opportunity to present any comment that you need. All right, so if the county's ready to proceed, please do so.
Officer Nicolosi.
Darcy Nicolosi, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. This case was heard on August 2nd, 2017 for outside storage, swimming pool unsecured, non-sanitary. First affidavit was filed on November 1st, 2017 because the pool was still unsanitary and the screens were missing and outside storage. The second one, which is before you today, is for the pool and the screens. And it wasn't in compliance when I did the inspection on December 14th.
Thank you. Anything further from the county?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Nickerson?
Yes. It's been a rough year. I've had multiple health issues. You know, I was in the hospital twice, had a couple surgeries, had a stroke, heart failure, and I look after my mother who has Parkinson's. And it's been really difficult to get all these things done. I've got the fence down. I got rid of the fence. The pool is back to clear. And I'm trying to get everything together. I'm trying to get her in a home. You know, it's been real difficult.
I understand. Anything further?
No, I'm gonna keep up on it from this point on. My health is getting better, so I'll be able to stay on top of things.
Do you have any evidence to suggest that the conditions that Officer Nicolosi testified about did not exist on December 14th of last year?
No, they did exist, I guess.
Thank you. All right. Yeah,
I just wasn't physically able to do anything over the last year. I've just got to the point where I can start doing things again.
Sure. And I don't mean to, be unsympathetic toward this, but I have kind of a focused thing I've got to do here, and just if it existed, the violations existed as you've just acknowledged as of December 17th, and I don't really have any alternative but to affirm this affidavit, and that's going to be my ruling in the case. But please understand that I'm not trying to be unsympathetic about your mother's situation. Okay? Thank you, sir. Okay, it takes us to agenda item 23. No, what is it?
Your Honor, I just may want to remind some of the folks in the room that if a certain fines are eligible for a lien reduction program that the county has, and if you have an issue related where you request a lien reduction, there's a procedure to follow, and you can visit with your code enforcement officer to discuss that after the meeting if you wish.
Did everybody hear that? Okay, would you mind repeating that one more time? We have some people that didn't.
The county has a code enforcement lien reduction program that many of these liens may be eligible to request lien reductions. If you wish to investigate the idea of doing a lien reduction on your property, you may contact your code enforcement officer and discuss that with him or her.
Okay, so you have the ability in certain situations to apply for a lien reduction. Just check with the code enforcement officer after the hearing or any time after today if you need to. So if you have any further questions, they'll be happy to take the time to explain it to you. All right, then let's go to agenda item 23, COD 171479. That's Coco Kai, Steve Roche. If you're here on that matter, please approach the podium. That's the other part, yeah. I'm familiar with this one. Sir, your name and address, please.
Steve Roche, 5045 North Beach Road, Englewood, Florida, 34223.
Thank you, sir. We're going to proceed with the county going first, and then we'll...
Officer Nicolosi.
Darcy Nicolosi, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. This case was heard on August 2nd, 2017 for outside storage and no permits. This is the first affidavit. This affidavit is for an abatement of the property of all the outside storage and also for a permit not being submitted for work that was done.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. So this goes back to September 28th of 17. All right. Mr. Roche?
On October 4th, I was here where you gave us an order. I believe it was you, sir. I'm not positive.
Probably would have been.
And you gave us 30 days to comply with the list of things that were offered up by the county. This required an electrical contractor license and permitted, of course. I'm just going to submit to you now that that is, you gave us 30 days to do that. Complete impossibility for any human to do that in post-Irma, Southwest Florida. It took us about 30 days to finally negotiate with an electrician to do it. It's an extensive amount of work that had to be done. And we interviewed very diligently Dan Wellens Electric, Antini Electric, All Wire Electric, Miller Electric, and Energy Today. We finally settled on Antini Electric, who, this is a copy of my first deposit check to him. Can I submit this to you?
That's all right. I'll take your word for it.
Your Honor, I believe he might be giving details for the next case, that affidavit of noncompliance.
Right. Okay, but this is just on the first matter here. Do you have any evidence that the conditions cited did not exist on September 28, 2017, or was that during the process that you were still trying to find
I think what you're referring to is, what is this referring to? Some outside debris stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Outside storage and work without a permit. I mean, was that the case?
I have something to comment about that. This is, we have had a squatter living in a property that I do not own. Name is Anthony Schmidt. We successfully removed him from a unit back in December of 16. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Department insisted that we put him back in and actually threatened to arrest my sister if she did not allow him back into the unit. He is the one that is like a junk collector and collects all this. We have been in the process of trying to remove him, but I've been advised that the only way to do that legally is to sue the condominium owner that owns that unit for foreclosure, which we can do for non-payment of condo fees. And then And the problem with that is he's abandoned it, and he's gone and has been living abroad. It's a complicated matter to foreclose on someone when you can't serve them. It's not something that's going to happen in 60 or 90 days. It's a lengthy, difficult process. And we're trying to do that, foreclose on the man. Joseph Heinz is the attorney that does the foreclosure things. And he's trying to foreclose on the man and I think he said something about they have to hire, appoint a guardian ad litem or something in lieu of this guy has disappeared and has gone and abandoned the place. Then we can get rid of the tenant, he calls himself a tenant, he's a squatter. He gave Charlotte County a phony lease that he prepared and had somebody sign for this gentleman who never, ever executed a lease to him.
But did that have anything to do with not having a permit back in September 28th of 2017?
Well, he's the one doing this. He's the junk collector.
When we did an abatement on that, we cleaned it up. So we got abatement charges where we went out and cleaned it up.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right, sir, do you have anything further?
No, I don't.
All right. Based on the evidence that's presented, I'm going to affirm this affidavit as stated. And if you just remain up there, we'll take case number 2417, 2350, Coco Kai, Stephen Broche, Patricia Broche, Michael Vigilanco, Marcia Vigilanco, and William Cagliostro, if I pronounce that right.
That's the gentleman that's abandoned the place and is gone.
Sure.
The latter.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Since this is a different case, I'm going to ask the county to go again, and then we'll hear the evidence on this one.
Officer Nicolosi.
Darcy Nicolosi, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. This case was heard on October 4th, 2017 for electrical violations of electrical work done without permits. The property has been condemned. The county has gone ahead and all the power has been cut to the property, and we have boarded it up to keep everybody out.
I remember this case. This is the one where we had electrical cords run from the white power box running all the way back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we had all the electrical violations.
And so that's all been boarded up now? And
the whole units, yes, all the units 1 through 9 are boarded, plus the laundry room.
All right, so Mr. Roche, what is your position on this one?
That's the one I was talking to you about before that I thought we were really...
Yeah, but I had to kind of switch gears with you, so if you don't mind...
Right. The electrical permit has been issued. It's permit number 201-711-24532.
What was the date that was issued?
I don't have that in front of me. Antini Electric was paid their deposit to get that, obtain that permit to me on November 15th. When he actually obtained the permit, I don't know. He did do some work it wasn't in November, it was in December, because he had to order a lot of materials that are rather extensive. He had to order a 7-gang meter box, that's this one, which is a special order, kind of difficult to obtain. You want a copy of that?
Just a little bit of background on that.
Yeah,
Ms. Nicolosi just advised that the permit he was talking about was actually issued on December 20th.
December 20th?
Just for your record.
Thank you.
Is that just for review purposes, or
yeah, I would like to submit it.
Yeah, did you want me to admit this into evidence, because I won't be able to give it back to you?
That's okay.
Okay, that's fine.
I can take another picture.
Okay, they'll be marked and admitted as Exhibit A. Please proceed, Mr. Roche.
There were also items that Florida Power, who was still very busy from their post-arm activities, had to perform, and Antini Electric negotiated with, her name was Jane, I believe, with Florida Power. They had to do a riser and some kind of junction box. I think he called it a handhole, where they he's now going underground where we did have overground wiring. This is Florida Power was supposed to be there in late December to do this. They never showed up. They scheduled us for January 17th. For sure they'd be there to do it. Never showed up. February 5th, they then rescheduled for. They actually showed up, and I've got pictures of them doing the work. However, they showed up about 5:10, 5:15 in the evening, and my electricians, who I paid for to be there all day, were already gone. So this is the proof that Florida Power actually did complete their task, their end of it, on December 5th.
And the date that that permit was issued, I'm trying to figure out what he's done that wasn't outside.
Officer Nicolosi, do you have the permit date?
No.
Look.
Oh, by the way, Florida Power billed me. The bill said it was dated November 29th that they mailed to me. I thought I received it around the 3rd or 4th, and my check to them is cleared on December 5th. They had to be paid in advance for this work.
Officer Nicolosi?
The permit was issued on December 20th. It was submitted in November. The first one was submitted as a residential, which it cannot be because it's a commercial entity. It had to be resubmitted through commercial. The plans that were submitted were rejected because they didn't have everything that was needed, so they had to resubmit again on the 19th of December, and it passed through plans examiners, and it was issued on the 20th. The permit has also had 2 inspections by the building department, and both inspections have failed.
Officer Nicolosi, when was approximately how many years ago was the first time that the property owner was notified that the electrical needed a permit? Approximately.
The first case I had was Unit 7. That was the other case. He added on and did some electrical work in the addition. I don't know. There's just so many things that I know.
Is it fair to say that this file has been going on for years?
Yes, we've been dealing with Coco Kai for over 20 years.
Thank you, ma'am.
Also, if I could, just to clarify, this cost here that's being addressed right now is the cost of abatement, which was the closing up of the structure. That's all it has to do with is the boxing up of the structure.
Okay. Yes, sir. You had something to say, Mr. Roche?
The electrical thing, we became aware of the electrical thing in mid-August. I returned from a family reunion in North Carolina and found out about it. Of 17. You asked how long.
All right. And did the county come and take any corrective action on your property?
Well, that's the reason I cut my trip short to North Carolina. They had disconnected the main Gulfront building, which consists of 6 units, 4 of which I owned, 2 of which by others, who's been included in this.
Okay, sir. Anything further?
The only thing further I would say is that if you're going to make a ruling in favor of the county's recommendation, I would ask that it be postponed while I hire a legal counsel.
Well, I think you have the time. We'll put the appeal right notice on the order because my decision is to affirm the county's affidavit because it has expended money trying to take corrective action in this matter. You have a limited time to file an appeal, so I'd suggest if you're going to retain counsel, you get right to that.
I have an appointment with Mr. Haymans on Friday and a lawyer named Fayard, in case that's not successful with Mr. Haymans, on Monday.
Okay, thank you.
But I only received the notice of this hearing today in the last few days of January.
Now, I understand that you may have been cut short.
I didn't have time to hire a counsel. I would have had one here now.
Sure, I understand. All right, but that's my ruling, and I'd suggest that maybe you talk to Mr. Haymans about possibly appeal the ruling if you wish to.
I'm sorry?
I hope your meeting with Mr. Haymans goes well so that if you wish to, you can appeal my ruling, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good luck with it, Mr. Rush. Thank you, sir. All right, I think that takes us to
26.
Agenda item 26, COD 12-2568, Timothy Thompson. If you're here on that matter, please approach the podium. Sir, would you state your name and address, please?
Tim Thompson, 24629 Nova Lane, Punta Gorda, Florida.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
We're going to proceed just like we have with the county going first, and then we'll give you a full and fair opportunity to present. So your side, so if you have any documents, just have those ready that you might want to show me. The county's ready to proceed. Its first witness, please.
Roadhorst.
Good morning, Gary Roadhorst, Certified Code Compliance for Charlotte County. This originally came before you on December 7th of 2016 for expired permits. On January 2nd of 2018, I conducted an inspection finding that the permit had once again expired and the work is not fully complete.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes, a little confused. On April, I renewed the permits. There's 3 of them actually in question for the address of 3103 Broadpoint Drive. It does not state. I had met with, I'm sorry, the date issued was March 27th. I renewed the permits, all 3. The following day or 2, I had met with Greg Schnitzel, I believe his name was the inspector. One inspection was for a fence, one was for a shed, and one was for a demolition permit. My understanding was he signed off on 2 of them, and he was going back to the office to double check on the demolition because there was a portion I had added on to an area of the building that I had to remove. His question was, I had left the existing piece that I had added on to, but he was going back to his supervisor. He said, if you don't hear from me, everything's good, but I need to verify that this is an existing structure that was there. Never heard anything about it. So, again, I'm confused. I thought everything was passed.
But on the date cited here on December 2nd of 2008, it says 18 in the affidavit.
Yes, it does.
Let me just clarify that.
So is my understanding that he had gone to the property in question?
Your Honor, I'd let the officer report, please.
Sure. I've got a date, the inspection of December of 2018, which isn't for a few months yet, but I just want to have you check, verify the date you re-inspected.
Reinspection was January 2nd of 2018.
You had gone to the property?
Yes.
So let the witness speak, please.
Yeah, I know it's confusing and you're getting wound up in things, but I'll give you a full opportunity. So if we don't interrupt each other, but I'll give you the full opportunity to explain. Okay.
The documentation is 2 of the permits have actually been closed out through final inspections, the shed and the fence. The one outstanding permit that is out there is for the addition to the structure that was there. The notes on the permit on the March 28th of 2017 inspection was that a portion of it had been removed, and then balance of the shed roof will be removed as per the discussion with the owner. And that section that they noted was located over the ice machine.
Your comment, sir?
Well, my question is if he had actually gone to the property, because you cannot get back there without going through the building. If I would have been aware of this, that somebody had gone there, because again, I had knew nothing about this. I suspicion that he did not go to the property because you can't get there unless you go through the building.
You want to respond to that, Officer Ward?
I was on the property, however, I was not in the property. And the location of it, the picture that I took when I was on the property was showing some canopies that concealed the particular structure. However, the permit is still expired, which is...
Your Honor, just so for clarity's sake, this case was heard previously. This is and this court and this magistrate entered an order requiring this property owner to complete his permit, close his permits. That has not occurred as of the date of the this affidavit of noncompliance.
No, I understand that.
So, and we're on the 3rd affidavit of noncompliance, sir, not the 1st.
I understand that, Counsel.
So I just want to make sure everybody's clear that this case was heard, the facts were presented, and this magistrate accepted them. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that input. Do you have any response to council's comment?
All I would like is that if I need to do anything further, that I can meet with an inspector there, because my stand is that this was an existing structure. It's only 4 feet from the building. I did add on to that, which I have already removed. That is what is in question. So if I could meet with somebody there and they can see that the structure is existing, I would rather not remove it because it does protect the ice machine that's in the back.
All right, well, okay, my decision on this is I'm going to affirm this affidavit as it's stated. Mr. Roadhorse, could you meet with him, and he's requesting some information how he might meet with an inspector and go over this with it, and ideally if we're trying to get compliance here, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You want to meet with Officer, do you have any other cases?
Got one more, Your Honor.
Several.
Okay, if you wait in the back, oh, here you go.
One more.
One more.
We'll go ahead and take care of that, and then with Officer Roadhorse, and then he'll meet with you.
Okay, thank you.
Which number?
The next number is 31.
Okay, agenda item 31, COD 17337, Jesse Vandeventer. If you're here on that matter, if you'd please approach.
You're not going to help?
You're going to help her? She's helping her.
Please go ahead, huh?
Yeah.
Counsel, you pull that mic down a little bit for her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What am I supposed to say?
I know. He's going to ask you questions.
Ma'am, can you hear me? Does she have...
Does she need a hearing?
Can I what?
Can you hear him?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Does she need some...
She says she can hear you.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I couldn't hear her.
You need a hearing.
I need it. Ma'am, would you give us your name and address, please?
Jesse Vandeventer, 1446 Kittywake Drive, Punta Gorda.
And how are you this morning?
Not good.
Okay. Well, we'll try to get through this as quickly as we can. If the county is ready to proceed, please call your first witness.
Roadhorse.
Good morning, Gary Roadhorse, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. This case originally came before you on June 6th of 2017. On November 8th of 2017, I did an additional inspection for second affidavit of noncompliance, finding outside storage of wood, metals, tools, and assorted appliances and indoor furniture.
Anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor. We just note that for the record, the second affidavit of noncompliance.
Ms. Vandeventer, could you tell me whether or not these conditions that Officer Roadhorse just testified existed on November 8th of 2017 or not?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Did they exist? I need to hear it from her. Okay.
It's my mother.
Oh, okay, I understand. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me about this?
She can't do anything. She lives.
I'm 94 and I'm blind. I don't hear good.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that your mom would like to present?
No, she can't see or participate really. I live there. So.
Okay. All right.
She lives in the house. I don't live there.
So we've been working on it.
Your Honor, would you request that the second witness state her name and address for the record, and then speak into the microphone so we can catch it for the record, please?
My name is Deborah Hall. I live at 23048 Jumper Avenue.
Okay, and were you sworn? Did you raise your right hand?
Yes, I sure
Okay,
did.
thank you. Okay, and so everything you just said is true and correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, just for the record, Officer Roadhorse is reporting that he has pictures from this morning and the property has been cleaned up.
Okay. Well, in this particular situation, I'm I'm going to go ahead, because this has been a long-term thing, and when you come up here and you've already violated one of my orders, is not.
I didn't even know about it.
I understand.
I just.
But I'm going to go ahead and affirm this affidavit as stated, but if you get this cleaned up, maybe you can take advantage of the reduction program. But if you need questions, please contact one of these folks, okay? Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
What did he say?
I have to go talk to these guys.
Pardon?
I have to go talk to these fellows over here.
Oh, okay.
Number 36.
Where's my scooter?
Here, wait, just wait. Back up a little bit, okay?
Where do you want me, Deb?
Right, wait a second. Thank you.
I just wanted to wear it.
All right, we'll go to agenda item 36, COD 16398, Robert and Cynthia Godreau. If you're here on that matter, please approach. One at a time, could you give me your name and address?
Can you pull the mic up? Yeah, thank you.
Cynthia Goodrow, 15449 Orchid Drive, Punta Gorda, Florida, 33955.
Good morning, ma'am. Sir?
Robert Goodrow, 15449 Orchid Drive, Punta Gorda.
Thank you, sir. We'll proceed with the county first, and then we'll hear from you. So if the county's ready to proceed.
Officer Brown.
John Brown, Charlotte County Code Compliance Officer. This was originally heard before this court on 4th day of August 2016. The conditions that I took photographs. The conditions that I viewed was the property has improved, but is still not compliant. They have covered part of the front of the lanai, but you can still view junk-like conditions within the screen room area.
When were those photographs taken?
These photos were taken on 7/10/2017, January 25th, 2018, and the last two were 2018.
Did you want to put those into evidence?
Yes, sir. I'd like to enter these in evidence, please.
You'd show it to Mr. and Mrs. Gill.
We don't have a screened room.
Just, if you take a look at that. And
I stand corrected. Carport, sir.
The only thing that's there is the Bronco, and
I understand. I just have to ask you a limited question. You're going to give a full opportunity to explain, but do you have any objection to me admitting those?
No, sir.
Photographs? Okay, then those will be so marked as County Composite Exhibit 1. Please proceed.
Your Honor, we have nothing further.
At this time? Okay.
Note for the record, this is a third affidavit of noncompliance.
I got it. I would just take a quick look. Okay, folks, who wants to go first?
Well, I got it cleaned up. I mean, I had some renters there. They weren't renters. They were friends of mine. They moved down here from Michigan. They needed a place to stay, so I let them have it. Let them live there, and I didn't know their son was there. So when his son come there, he started collecting a bunch of junk. Mm-hmm. And the boat right there, that's legal. That's tagged and everything, up-to-date tags, but it's gone. They're gone. And all that stuff you see around the Bronco, it's all gone. It's been cleaned up. The only thing I got is a big pile of bicycles now that I got to get rid of.
Well, and it's better than the last time it passed inspection, so I don't understand why we're being violated, because
you told me I could have
the Bronco was
in the
still
front
there.
Yard. You told me I had to get the trailer, the mist gone,
the garage,
and pick it up, and clean up the front yard. So I picked it all up, and now they got all this junk out there in front, but it's all been cleaned up now since they moved out.
Okay, the legal question I have to answer today is whether or not those conditions existed back on October 13th of last year. So in other words, we're looking back in time. Do you have any evidence to suggest that what...
When he took them pictures, I told him he had to get the boat going and he had to clean up all the stuff. And they cleaned all that up just before, I guess, right after he took the pictures.
Okay. If you think of this kind of like a traffic ticket, you wind up in court 2 months after you get charged with a traffic ticket. That's kind of like...
Well, I don't live there. That's, you know, because me and her taking care of her mom.
My question is, when it passed inspection after the 16th, nothing has changed except for the legal boat in the yard. It passed before. Why all of a sudden now are we getting violated when nothing's different in the yard from when it passed inspection in when we came here before?
Do you folks have anything else?
We tried to get a hold of the zoning to try to find out what we could do when we first got the letter, left several messages and never got any return calls to try to find out what, you know,
We'll take care of that today. We'll take care of that for you today. Anything further?
No, sir.
It's all clean now, except for a big pile of bikes I got to get out of there.
I understand, but my job is to look backward in time, you understand?
Right. No, it was just the same back at the time he states he inspected it, besides the legal boat, as it was when it passed inspection. So I don't agree with that.
All right. Anything further from the county? All right. Based on the evidence I've heard today, I'm going to affirm this affidavit, but can somebody meet with these folks and let them know what they need to do?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. We got
So
you.
what's that mean? We still have a lien on our house?
Well, that's my, yes, ma'am. Apparently, those are, I entered a couple of orders.
Well, how come it passed in 2016 being just the same and now it doesn't pass? I'm not understanding.
We obviously don't know what the applicants or what the respondent's referring to when she says it passed, but we'd be more than pleased to discuss it. Our staff will discuss it with her and explain what she has to do and what the situation is with the lien.
All right. You indicated earlier that nobody responded to you. We're going to cure that in just a few minutes.
Well, right now I have a lien on my property.
Well, you've had liens on your property, ma'am, going back quite a ways here, all the way from April and September. So, thank you, folks.
Now we're going to 44.
44? All right, agenda item 44, COD 153387, Hector and Carol Lopez. If you're here on that matter, please approach the podium. Sorry about that. Your name and address, sir?
Hector Lopez, 174 Oldenburg Court, Northeast, Port Charlotte, Florida, 33952.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
We're going to proceed just like we did in the other cases, so if you just bear with us, we'll give you a full opportunity to present your situation, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, county ready to proceed?
Officer Davis.
Paul Davis, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. This case came before you on May 4th, 2016 in reference to prohibited uses and structures and junk-like conditions. Did an inspection on December 5th, 2017 and found that all of those still were there, and did an abatement, and that abatement was at a cost of $562.50.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor, except to note that this is the third affidavit of noncompliance, plus there was actual abatement costs incurred by the county. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lopez, you want to tell me what's going on here?
I did have a family member of my wife that has been causing those type of troubles, and I've been trying to see if I can move him out of the house. I gotta start the procedure, and even so, for me to be trying to give it a hand because they didn't have a place to live, and now they're destroying mine.
Do you have any evidence that the conditions that the Officer Davis described did not exist on your property on December 5th of last year?
No, sir.
Okay. Anything further you'd like to say, Mr. Lopez?
No, sir.
Okay. Based on the fact that this is the third affidavit of noncompliance and that the county's had to spend money to abate the issue. I don't have a lot of choice here. And so I'm going to affirm the affidavit as stated, and hopefully you can get this taken care of as soon as possible. Okay, sir?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Next case is 59.
Okay. Agenda item 59, COD 162248, William and Patricia Hansen. If you're here on that matter, please approach. Would you state your names and addresses, please?
Patricia Henson, 1222 Green Oak Trail, Port Charlotte, Florida.
Sir?
I'm her husband, Dale Arntz, same address.
Thank you, sir. We'll proceed with the county presenting its side first, and we'll hear from you, please. So if you bear with us, county ready to proceed.
Officer Leonard.
Rhonda Leonard, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. This is a 90-day fine. We abated the property for the third time in less than a year in November. The second abatement we did was in the end of June, and the junk immediately started compiling again. This is actually scheduled for a fourth abatement coming up next week. This also includes the costs of abatement that we did in November.
I see that, and I recognize the third affidavit, and I'm saving you some breath.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. and Mrs. Henson, can you tell me what's going on, please?
Well, I'm very sorry, Your Honor. I'm ashamed of this. And I didn't know about it until he went to jail. And my name is on the deed, but I didn't get any notice because I guess it went to him and I didn't know about it. And then I found out that the lights were shut off and water was shut off and he was in jail and she had abandoned the place, and then there's squatters living there. But it is now clean. I've been working for 2 weeks, and I can only say that it's very clean, Your Honor, and I'm so sorry.
Well, I understand that the problems you had, but your county's had to spend money on several occasions to correct this situation.
I do understand.
Do you have any evidence to suggest that the county didn't do that?
Do what?
That the county didn't spend money to...
Oh, I'm sure they did, and I'm very sorry, but I still hope that you have mercy because I'm the one that's going to be...
Yeah, her son's in jail, and he didn't tell her. She was estranged from him until he went to jail, so we didn't know anything about what was going on over there.
I understand. Anything else you'd like to offer?
Well, it's clean.
Well, we appreciate that.
And he's not there, so I'm taking control.
But please understand that the county has been pretty patient with this.
Well, I do understand that, but it's still a lot of money, and so maybe I can apply for what you said.
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is just,
that you consider that.
You know, we're not rich people, and I don't. I mean, it's a lot of money. They came to clean it up, but you know, they didn't do much.
I certainly suggest that you follow up with that, okay? Because
Yes,
I'm going to affirm this affidavit because of the expenditures and the amounts at this point. I really don't have a lot of choice. So that'll be my ruling. And if you, like I said, if you need to find out who you contact about the reduction program, just somebody in the back will meet with you, okay?
I'll be more than happy.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
62.
Agenda item 62, Brandon Neven and Brandy DeBoe. If you're here on that matter, please approach. Good morning. Can I get your names and address, please?
Brandon Neven, 22075 Felton Ave, Port Charlotte, Florida, 33952.
Brandy DeBoe, same address.
Okay, thank you. And you both were sworn in? Okay, thank you. We'll proceed as I've indicated before with the county first, and then we'll hear everything you've got to say, okay? Thank you, County.
Officer Leonard.
Rhonda Leonard, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. This case was originally presented on May 3rd of 2017 for junk and prohibited uses. I inspected the property September 28th, October 20th, and November 14th of 2017. The junk is still on the property, and this is a 90-day fine for noncompliance.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, folks, you want to tell me what's going on, please?
Sure. Hurricane hit. We were trying to clean up the house.
Could you speak in the mic, sir? I'm having trouble hearing you.
Okay, Renee. What was it? Yeah, September. When was?
In September, hurricane hit.
Yeah, September the hurricane hit. We got a dumpster. We were cleaning up the properties around. So, but evidently she don't care because the county don't clean up their trash around here after a hurricane hits, after a few months or whatever it is, because it sits out in front of the people's houses. But anyways, besides the fact that when I do make a complaint about something that I'm out of hand with people that have junk across the streets and everything like that, down the street, nothing happens to anybody else, but I feel like I'm getting harassed by the same person. Because there ain't nothing going on with anybody else around the areas. We check in on this stuff on the houses. There's vehicles down Gibraltar that are untagged, unregistered, don't move, inoperable. Nothing happens to them, but evidently, what else?
We get chose to be monitored.
Oh, we get chose to be monitored, and you know, because we got a couple gas tanks and that stuff in the carport that she can't see or anything like that. So she's going to monitor us. So she's going to harass me for this entire time.
Sure.
Stuff's gone.
Well, I understand that you're unhappy, but
what? That I continually get harassed, but nobody else gets.
No, sir, I would suggest
get told that they got to clean up their bicycles that are all in front of their house that are disassembled and everything like that, and I get told that I'm out of hand when I try to make a complaint.
Yeah. You know, you have the ability, sir, to file complaints.
Oh, I tried. I get told that I'm out of hand, that I'm going too far.
Unfortunately, sir, I can't address that for you today, but if you want to talk to somebody, I'll make sure that they talk to you about
my attorneys to come after you guys?
I'm sorry?
Attorneys to come after you guys for this?
That's up to you, sir.
It will be.
But, all right, anything further, sir?
What other issues does she keep saying?
The trailer on the side of the house.
Oh,
One's okay.
I guess I have a trailer, which is removed now because it's been fine. But now all of a sudden she's nitpicking about a trailer that I have. Other people have trailers, commercial trailers, actually have names on them. I can't have any of my stuff, evidently, but everybody that owns a business, runs out of their house, can have their shit. But I'm not allowed to have a trailer.
Sir, it may seem to be unfair, but I did issue an order on May 3rd of last year.
Right, and that stuff was gone.
And your fine has gotten pretty high.
Yeah.
But my decision today is I'm going to affirm this after.
Oh, I know you were going to, because the county's hurting for money, like always.
Sir, what I would suggest that you do, though, is take the county up on the reduction program. If you want to meet with somebody today, be happy to make sure that you talk to somebody before you go out the door.
Oh, what's prohibited use of structure?
Sir, I'm not here to answer the questions.
We've asked that question multiple times, and we never
Nobody
get
will give me an answer.
What do you say a prohibited use of structure is? It's a single-family residence. We're a single family in the residence.
But we've already decided that case. Counsel, you want to put them together with somebody to...
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. But
Yeah,
my rule...
like always.
Emailed. Got nothing.
Okay. So that affidavit will stand affirmed?
Yeah.
What number is this?
63. 63.
63.
And then we're going here 64.
We got it on our 64 too?
Yeah.
Screening.
And 68 you have, right?
68, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next item, agenda 63, COD 172063, Hog Investments, LLC. If you're here on that matter, please approach.
We finally get to meet.
Ma'am, would you, when you get settled, would you give us your name and address, please?
I'm Tina Gary with Hague Investments. Company is 1133 Bell Harbor, Punta Gorda, 33950.
Okay, thank you.
Officer Leonard.
Rhonda Leonard, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. This was brought to hearing back on September 6, 2017 for junk-like conditions. I did an inspection on December 12th, and outside storage was starting to accumulate again. There were tires, there were cones, there was some wood. At this point, it has been cleaned up, as I was by there yesterday, and they have taken care of. They've been really good about trying to keep the tenants in check.
Mm-hmm. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ma'am, do you have any evidence that the prior prohibited use of structures, junk-like conditions, did not exist on December 12, 2017?
I've been working with Rhonda regarding what junk-like conditions are because these properties are low income and they have carports. Mm-hmm. So when somebody puts stuff in their carport, it's what is it determined as junk-like? Mm-hmm. So 2 tenants ago, I had a scrapper. Yes, that was junk-like because he had stuff everywhere. This tenant pretty much confined it to his carport area. So we've been working together, and I've been talking to Rhonda as to what I can do to comply. We have finally screened it to try to help the situation. We didn't have, there was a point in time before December that he had to work on his vehicles, and Rhonda said that was still okay. He has a couple trailers, and she said that's okay. So I don't know if it's just the overall curb appeal, which is what I'm trying to make better.
Sure. Is any response from the county?
At the time of the inspection, there were a stack of tires. Apparently, they've been, working on their vehicles, which for minor things like changing tires, you're allowed to do. But they had them outside of the carport. They had some cones out there, a stack of wood, which starts creating the junk-like condition. They have since cleaned it up, and they did screen in that little. It's a small carport area. It's not really big enough to put a car in, I don't think. So that it's less visible from the street, and there's nothing outside at this point. All their trailers are parked correctly, which is why the trailers are not an issue.
And this is the first violation?
Yes.
All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to exercise my discretion on this since you're cooperated and this is your first violation, even though you did violate my previous order. I appreciate the compliance, which is really what we're looking for in this matter. So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this affidavit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda, for all your help.
You're welcome.
This will be 64. Mm-hmm. Agenda item 64, COD 172134, Gladys Perez, Israel Cologne. The second, if you're here on that matter, please approach the podium. Gladys Perez, Israel Cologne. All right. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing fine. Would you please state your name and address?
Israel Cologne, 2516 Baltic Avenue. I own the property at 3340 Edge Hill Terrace.
Thank you, sir. We'll have the county go first. And
Officer Leonard.
Rhonda Leonard, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. This was brought to hearing November the 1st of 2017 for an expired remodel permit. I did the follow-up inspection December 4th and reviewed permitting. The permit remained expired at that time.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Sir, is what Officer Leonard said true?
Yes. Well, now I know that, but yes.
And where are you in terms of getting your permit and required inspections?
So I was here in December, and I went over to the building department, and the problem is that the contractor that I used at that time is no longer in business, and they're not active with the county. And this is something totally new for me. I work with Miss Leonard all the time on different issues. She gives me a notice, and I go ahead and take care of it. I went to go do that, got the paperwork, and then on January 7th, 30 days ago, I had a massive heart attack, and so I was resuscitated, defibrillate, chest compressions and everything. I had the documentation to show that I was discharged from the hospital.
I'll take your word for it.
Things like that. And so I don't even know where the paperwork is. I have to go back to the county today, get the paperwork. I'm just now getting back into working again. So I'm trying to find out how to get a different contractor. Apparently I can't just hire a new contractor. I have to give that contractor notification, and I don't know where he's at or how to get in touch with him. This was 2012 that I bought this property. It was a distressed property. I've put it in beautiful condition. A tenant put a car there one time. I had them remove it. That's the only issues that we've had with the property since then. So I've restored the property to good condition, but now I need to prove that by closing the permits. And this was the first property I ever bought, and I didn't know that the permits were never closed. So that's a challenge for me.
Yeah, you may need to consult with the council if that's your concern.
Right.
All right, sir. Based on the admission of the violation, I don't have much of a choice but to affirm the affidavit's $120 fine.
Okay.
But hopefully you get this thing rectified and we won't have to see you again.
Yeah. No.
Good luck. I hope you feel better.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
68.
Okay, next, agenda item 68, Robert and Ann Buckholtz. If you're present, please approach the podium. Good morning, ma'am. Would you give us your name and address, please?
Ann Buckholtz, 18502 Van Nuys Circle.
All right. What we're going to do is proceed as we've indicated, so the county will go first.
Officer Moore.
Cornell Moore, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. This case was originally seen on May 4th, 2016. I conducted a 90-day inspection on December 1st, 2017. My inspection resulted in finding a, by outward appearance, an inoperable vehicle in the driveway with flat tires. That concludes my testimony.
Anything further from the county?
Nothing further.
Ms. Buckholtz?
Yes.
Anything that she said that's not accurate?
1 minute later with an air compressor and the tire was no longer flat. I have a picture.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to put that into evidence?
Sure.
Any objection?
Just like to say for the record, Your Honor, that photo is not dated, but we have no objection to entering it into the record.
We'll tie it up. Ma'am, what's the date of this photo? You said 1 minute later after the...
The tire was aired up as soon as I knew that that was the problem.
What day was that?
I don't know. I'd have to consult some records that I don't have here in front of me.
And was the tag you said was expired?
No,
No, it was
It
not.
was just a tire?
Just the two flat tires, Your Honor. And I did meet with Ms. Buckholtz approximately about a week after she received the affidavit in the mail, and she did state she was going to take care of it, but if she took, that picture was well after the fact when I did my inspection.
I understand. But there hadn't been any more violations since?
No, Your Honor, not to my knowledge.
All right, let me mark this as the respondent's exhibit number A, or letter A. We'll put that into evidence. I won't be able to give that back.
That's fine. You can keep that.
Okay, thank you. Anything further from the county?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to exercise my discretion and dismiss this affidavit since we've got compliance, and even though it's a second notice, but
Thank you so much.
hopefully we will not see you again.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do I?
Okay, we go to...
I think that's it on affidavits, unless you please.
Nope.
Your Honor, we don't have any additional affidavits at this point, I don't think.
You got to approve them.
Yeah, I understand. All right, that being the case, just want to clear for the record, we've covered everybody on the consent affidavits that's been present, and if that being the case, I will go ahead and accept the remainder of the affidavits as stated. Oh. Oh, last one. He's getting pretty demanding. Okay, we'll go to the new business on the agenda, case 00-16-806, S&S Money Auto Repair, Inc., if you're hearing that matter. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Doing fine. Your name and address, please?
Yes, sir. My name is James W. Hurston. I'm a registered professional engineer, and I'm here today representing S&S Money Automotive, Inc.
Thank you. I've heard your name a lot. It's the first chance I've had to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We'll proceed with the county first.
Yes, sir.
So if it's the county is ready, proceed.
Officer Shane.
Andre Deschênes, Certified Code Enforcement Officer. 23371, 23375 Harborview Road is Zone PD for Plan Development. The owner of record is S&S Money Auto Repair, Incorporated. On February 29, 2016, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violation of private club serving alcohol contrary to conditions set forth in Petition Z-04-11-49, dated April 18, 2006. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on May 31st, 2017, July 25th, 17, November 29th, 17, and January 23rd, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs and other supporting documentation into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
If you'd review those.
Yes.
I realize you're not the owner, Mr. Hurston, but do you have any objection to me entering those into evidence?
Well, I would like to have a little clarification on that, if I could. I think you said you had evidence of alcohol serving, but those pictures don't show that evidence. Those just show the location of the facility that we're talking about.
All right, sir, but I mean, with regard to the issues, whether those are fairly and accurately depict the...
That is the Domino's Club, yes, sir. That is the... Yes, sir.
We'll listen to the other testimony in just a moment. We'll go ahead and mark those as County Composite Exhibit 1 and enter those into evidence. Please proceed.
A courtesy letter was sent to the owner's address. I have had contact with the owner and explained to them that the violation still existed and must be taken care of to avoid further code action. The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. On January 23, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding that the violations still existed. This concludes my testimony.
Officer Deschênes, did you personally witness the alcohol serving?
Yes, on February 29th, I conducted, there was actually 2 private clubs that were serving alcohol contrary to that condition.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No personal investigation on that, huh?
I'd rather not. No, I'm only kidding.
We have nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Hurston, please.
And I have not attended any of those club meetings also. But, yes, sir, Your Honor. The code violation here is a club within a building that was not allowed in the allowable uses when the PD was originally created. That's the code violation, as I understand it. And so we have worked with the county. We've actually filed for a basically kind of a text amendment to the PD to allow the club usage in the facility. I will admit to you on my side as an engineering firm, we were very slow at getting some information back to the county, but we needed a title policy, of which the title really hasn't changed hands since Hurricane Charlie. We needed addresses of owners within 200 feet, and we needed a description of how exactly the club operates. And all that information has now been submitted to Charlotte County. We've enjoyed working with staff, and it's my understanding that Matt Treppel, who I guess isn't here today or may be here today and wasn't here yesterday, is if his report is complete, we'll schedule it for the BCC, the Planning and Zoning Board, and then the BCC. Hopefully the board will approve the allowable use of a club in the PD, and that should end any violation.
Prior to today, was there any serving of alcoholic beverages in the?
I personally called the president and the vice president in an effort to describe how the club operates, and they say they do have I think it's called a minor liquor license, and what that means is they cannot buy their liquor at a retail store. They have to buy it through a distributor. But they said they serve soft drinks, is what they described to me, sir.
Your Honor, may I ask whether the witness has any personal knowledge of whether there was alcohol served in that club?
So go ahead.
I ask the witness whether he have any personal knowledge of whether alcohol was served in that club or not.
Would you answer that question?
I have absolutely no knowledge of alcohol being served in the club.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything further at this time?
No, sir, not from this side.
Anything further from the county?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Does the county have a recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. The county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the respondent be granted 90 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or by applying for a major modification of the plan development, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. I'm going to take this matter under advisement, and by the time I leave here today, I'll
May I ask a question, Your Honor?
Sure.
If I understood this correctly from the county attorney, it was we have 90 days or apply for a major modification. Is that correct?
That's correct.
We've already applied for that major modification, sir. We've already applied.
All right. I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Make sure that everybody has your contact information. We send the order directly to the owner, though, right?
I think he is. Is he copied on that? I think he is.
I don't think it's a problem for us to copy the attorney, Your Honor.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not.
I wouldn't think so. Okay.
No,
we can copy the gentleman who is not an attorney.
Okay.
But,
okay.
I'll get with Sean on that. But if we need to, we can have Matt Treppel, I'm sure, come down and verify status within the county.
The purpose of this hearing is to get compliance. If the owner is in compliance with the magistrate's order, then there will be no consequences to the owner.
Sure. So you have a window period then, or at least your principal does.
Well, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you're going to take that under advisement,
Yeah, I'm
and
going
then you'll rule on it?
Yeah, before we leave today.
Okay.
I just want to check the ordinances a little bit.
I think Mr. Cullinan would like to speak. No.
Who?
Oh, he's just here.
Oh.
We have Mr. Cullinan here from the department if you wish to ask any questions of him while he's here.
Well, proceed.
We have Mr. Cullinan from the department if you wish to ask him any questions about the application, Your Honor. If you do not wish to ask him any questions, you do not have
I don't have any questions.
Okay, no questions for you, Mr. Cullinan.
I appreciate it. I just wanted to read up on a legal point.
Please understand, Your Honor.
Okay.
Well within your discretion.
Now, do you want to start at...
Do we have an attorney here still? On G?
G, yeah.
Okay, let's go to G. Agenda item G is in golf, COD 172980, estate of Oscar Perez. If you're here on that matter, please approach. Will you please again announce your appearance?
Yes, Your Honor. Walter Grace here for the lender in this particular matter.
Thank you. County's ready to proceed. Your first witness.
Your Honor, Officer Roadhorse.
Good morning, Gary Roadhorse, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 321 Fairmont Terrace. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is the Oscar Perez Estate. On October 9th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. Torn screens on the pool cage and front screen, a swimming pool that has not been maintained in a clean and sanitary manner, for a roof not maintained in good repair to include a large section of missing shingles, and outside storage of yard waste, tile, bricks, and assorted other debris. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 9th, December 21st of 2017, and February 1st of 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Your Honor, the gentleman is not a representative of the respondent, so I don't think he has any role to play in approving or disapproving the.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't ask him what capacity he was here on. So
he said he was representative of the lender. So is that correct, sir?
That's correct. We were notified, so I'm here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and admit those as Charlotte County Composites Exhibit 1. Admit those into evidence, and Officer Roadhorse, if you continue.
The notice of violation was posted in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I've had no contact with the owner regarding this case. On February 1st, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations are still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. Do we have anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Counsel, if you'd announce who you were here for and proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm Walter Grace, and I'm here for the lender in this matter, which is Federal National Mortgage Association. For your information, there is a foreclosure action that's in place right now. It's at a point where there's a case management scheduled next week. Normally, looking at the docket, I would think that they would be moving for either a trial of the issue or a summary judgment after that. The party that was the owner, that was the defendant, is deceased, and so his heirs are actually the title holders of this property.
Your Honor, may I ask a question of the witness?
Absolutely.
Have the heirs responded to the foreclosure action in any way, sir?
I don't believe they have. Let's see, I'll tell you in a second.
So I'm presuming you're going to go to summary judgment relatively soon?
That would be what I would guess, because there is a case management, and yes, the defaults have been entered, so there was not any response, and the case management is set for a week from today. And normally what's going on these days is the judge will just either set it for trial or ask that summary judgment be sought.
One more question, Your Honor, and that is, assuming you're successful in receiving a judgment, when would you take possession of the property?
Well, we would not necessarily take possession of the property. There would be a sale, public sale, after approximately 30 days after the judgment, in which anyone could bid. Right. The lender, as you would probably know, normally does bid their judgment amount. If no one else bids, then they would take title, and then I don't want to speculate about what our role would be at that point.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just out of curiosity, how long has that foreclosure been pending?
I believe since June. Let's see, I'll tell you. Yes, June 5th is when it was filed.
June 5th of last
17, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, county recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order for future violations, that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, and that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus the State of Oscar Perez, COD 172980. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'll accept the county recommendation as my order, and I guess if counsel, if your client winds up owning this, they can talk to the county about possible fine reduction. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate your consideration.
Now, which way do you want to go, to the beginning?
Yeah, I'm going to go from the beginning and work forward. So, I guess D would be the first one.
It was continued to April.
Oh, okay. So we don't have that.
Now E.
Your Honor, would it be possible to take the Department of Health item number,
Yeah.
letter A, please, because we have a staff person waiting.
Oh, the DOH case? Well, how many of those do we have? I've got 2.
Just 2.
Just the 2? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's start with new business case A, Department of Health case 15213, Wayne and Joan Jones. If you're present on that matter, please approach the podium. If not, I don't see anybody here on behalf of the respondent, so if the county will proceed.
Officer Barnett.
Terry Barnett, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. 19265 Ab Henry Circle is Zone RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Wayne and Joan Jones. The case was initiated on August 10th, 2017, after receiving a complaint from the Department of Health that the owners were in violation of the inspection and pump out ordinance. I took a photograph of the property on August 10th, 2017. The photo fairly and accurately represents the conditions I observed. I would like to offer this photograph into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
There being nobody here on behalf of the respondent, those will be marked as Charlotte County Composite Exhibit 1 admitted into evidence. Please proceed.
I have had no contact with the property owner. The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. January 29th, 2018, the Department of Health verified via email that this address is still not in compliance. This concludes my testimony. Now I'd like to introduce Leslie Beauchamp from the Department of Health.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Leslie Beauchamp, Environmental Supervisor with the Florida Department of Health. I am the custodian of DOH records in regards to this database. I reviewed the records for 19265 Ab Henry Circle the afternoon of February 6, 2018, and found that no permits pertaining to the inspection and pump out ordinance have been issued within the last 5 years.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
County recommendation, please.
County recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, be granted that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to have the septic tank pumped and inspected in accordance with Charlotte County Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Wayne Jones and Joan Jones pertaining to the parcel located at 19265 Ab Henry Circle, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and I'll accept the county recommendation as my order. Agenda item B, Department of Health case 15340.
That's continued.
Oh, I'm sorry. C.
Yes.
DOH case 16118, Laura Trott Cook. If you're present on that matter, please approach the podium. Must have been what that big X was. Okay, I know no one is present on behalf of the respondent, so if the county is ready to proceed, it's first witness.
Terry Barnett, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. 3011 Timarin Street is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Laura A. Trott Cook. The case was initiated on August 9th, 2017, after receiving a complaint from the Department of Health that the owners were in violation of the inspection and pump out ordinance. I took a photograph of the property on August 9th, 2017. The photo fairly and accurately represents the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photograph into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
There being no objection, it will be marked and admitted as requested.
I have had no contact with the owner. The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. January 29th, 2018, the Department of Health verified via an email that this address is still not in compliance. This concludes my testimony. And I'd like to have Leslie Beauchamp come back up.
Good morning.
Morning.
Leslie Beauchamp, Florida Department of Health in Charlotte County. I am the custodian of DOH records in regards to this database. I reviewed records for the 2491 Tamarind Street the afternoon of February 6, 2018, and found that no permits have been issued pertaining to the inspection and pump out ordinance within the last 5 years.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time? If not, its recommendation.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of cited code sections, that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to have the septic tank pumped and inspected in accordance with Charlotte County Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Laura Trott Cook, case DOH 16118, pertaining to the parcel of property at 3011 Tamarind Street, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and I'll accept the county recommendation as my order.
Okay, now
We go to E.
E. Yes.
Okay. All right, this will take us to agenda item E. We have other people, somebody's presently?
They're here.
Okay, thank you.
They're the owner.
Okay. Case E, COD 172382, Yvette Santana. If you're here on this matter, please approach.
It was continued to April, Sean told us. Just happened. Yeah. D was continued to April. Yeah, that's what Sean told us. D was continued to April.
Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am, would you give us your name and address, please?
Yvette Santana, 1283 Marlowe Street.
Your Honor, was the witness sworn?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, you might just want to bend that little mic down a little further. I mean, don't have it poke you in the face, but okay. If the county's ready to proceed, I think we have Officer Roadhorse first.
Roadhorse.
Good morning, Gary Roadhorse, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 1283 Marlowe Street. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Yvette Santana. This case was continued from December 6th of 2017. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on February 5th, 2018. I also received paperwork from Yvette Santana and from the company that installed one of the sheds. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs and paperwork and permit history into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 2.
Ms. Santana, do you have any objections to me admitting those into evidence?
Not a problem.
Okay, so those will be admitted as Charlotte County Composite Exhibit 1 and admitted into evidence. Please proceed, Officer Roadhorse.
At the last hearing, Ms. Santana provided me with information regarding the contractor that installed one of the sheds. It's Sheds Now. I spoke to Lacey Gist with Sheds Now, and she said that Sheds Now provided the option to pull the permit, or the property owner can pull the permit, and Ms. Santana chose to use the option of pulling the permit herself. On February 5th, I conducted the final inspection, finding that one shed is still in place and the other shed has been moved, and the permit for that shed is still in rejection, has not been issued.
That's for the one that was removed?
The one that was moved, I'm assuming because she had indicated to me that she installed that shed and she'd applied for the permit. The permit has not been issued yet for that shed.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Just want to make it clear that the permit is still open, Your Honor. The permit is still open.
I understand. All right, Ms. Santana, you want to tell me what's going on? And
I don't get what does that mean when the permit is still open?
Sorry, Your Honor, I misspoke. Could you state the status of the permit, Officer Roadhorst?
The permit has not been issued at this point.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I apologize.
That's all right.
Does that mean it's still in process, though, because of some missing information? I mean, I applied for it. I paid for it.
Tell me about that, ma'am. I'm the one that has to.
I paid for the family shed that we had moved already, not the company shed. There's two sheds, two scenarios. The family shed that we just moved, I applied for the permit, and I don't know if it was because the numbers were missing, and I don't know what's the problem, why it's still in rejection mode.
And that's the one that was never issued?
That's correct, Your Honor. As I spoke to Ms. Santana right after the hearing, or December hearing, the permit was rejected for two parts. One, because the dimensions on the shed were incorrect, and two, the site plan showed two sheds on the single permit.
Right, and I corrected that. I spoke to Teresa right from the county, and I issue another map or printout, whatever you want to call that.
So really, we're only addressing the permit for the existing shed that's still there.
We still have two.
There's still two sheds there. One of them was actually repositioned.
Okay.
And the other one is the one that he spoke of that.
The one shed that's still in place was installed by Sheds Now. Right. That has never received a permit.
Okay.
Never even applied for a permit. The shed that has been moved, Ms. Santana applied for the permit. However, due to the size difference and the site permit, that permit was rejected, which I explained to Ms. Santana shortly after the previous hearing.
So neither shed is permitted at this.
Neither shed is permitted at this juncture.
That's the nature of the violation, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
and it has to be corrected at the department. It can't be corrected here at this hearing.
Okay.
Yes, but when I spoke to Teresa and she told me that there was two pictures on two pictures of both sheds on one picture, I corrected it and I gave her the dimensions where that family shed was in place. That's the one that was corrected and moved. That's the permit that's still lingering where it's still not corrected because I don't know why.
Your Honor, may I ask a question of the witness, please?
Please proceed.
Ma'am, do you have permits for both of those sheds at this point? Final permits?
I have, to my recollection, I have one, the one that we just moved.
So you dispute Officer Roadhorst's assertion that one shed, that both sheds are not permitted at this point?
One shed is permitted. The other one, I have to work on getting it. I wasn't aware.
So at least one shed is not permitted at this point.
Right.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. That's it.
Thank you.
And when I went to when I purchased my shed from Sheds Now, I wasn't aware that I was waiving the rights for them to do the actual permit. I was new to this state, and I wasn't aware of that.
Your Honor, just as a preview, our recommendation is always to grant the applicant an opportunity to come into compliance. This is not you're not going to receive a fine. At least we're not going to recommend a fine or a lien at this stage. This is merely to to enforce the county code to allow a reasonable amount of time for the property owner to get into compliance. That's what we're here for. So we would like to see her get into compliance and have no more problems with us.
And well, obviously you're confused, ma'am. So
I know this is all new to me. You know, I'm just learning as I go.
Okay. All right. So let's hear. Are you finished? And if so, let me get the county recommendation. Let's see what we can do to help you. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. The county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation, that the respondent be given 30 days to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance, and then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you understand what he was saying?
Yes.
Okay. Think you can do that in 30 days?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I'm sure of that. Thank you.
Let me go ahead and announce my ruling then.
Appreciate it.
Charlotte County versus Ivette Santana, case COD 172382, pertaining to the parcel at 1283 Marlowe Street, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'll accept the county recommendation. Hopefully you get that done in 30
I will.
days.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Let me put this together.
Item F. He was he was one of the late ones that come.
Okay, was he sworn in? Okay, Ramon Garcia, COD 172943. If you are here, if you'd please approach the podium. Ramon Garcia, going once, going twice. All right, let me recall that one later. Let me get the people who are here that have been waiting. Let's go to, I have H. Thanks. Okay. All right, agenda item H, COD 173054, Roseanne Sheddick. Ma'am, would you give us your name and address, please?
Yes. Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Roseanne Shattuck. My address is 22344 Montrose Avenue, Port Charlotte.
Okay. You look like you're feeling very uncomfortable. You going to be okay, ma'am?
If we get this over with, I will be.
Okay.
I have medical concerns.
I understand. I just want to make sure that you're okay, okay? All right, the county's ready to proceed. Its first witness.
Good morning, Gary Roadhorse, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 22344 Montrose Avenue. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Roseanne Shattuck. On October 11, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: outside storage of shells, plastic, wood, metal, and assorted other debris, an inoperable vehicle, and a fence that has not been maintained in good repair. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 11th, October 13th, October 26th, and February 1st of 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Okay.
Breakdown in discipline here, Your Honor.
I would rather they not be submitted as yet.
I'm sorry, it was...
You might want to pull the mic.
I would rather they not be submitted as yet.
What is the basis for that, ma'am?
Because conditions have changed, because I have some medical changes, because some things occurred too close to a hurricane for someone in my condition who's on a very limited income. Sure. And I am a 35-year resident. What I'd like is a little more time to bring everything into compliance. Gary and I seem to be able to communicate.
That's fine, ma'am, but that's not a legal objection to me considering the photographs. Objections would be is that they're not accurate, they're staged pictures, or they weren't taken out the time that Officer Roadhorse has testified to. That's what we need to know. If you have that type of objection, we will hear the other matters.
I've had an assault on the 18th of October, 2017. It's affected my vision because I had chemicals thrown into my eyes. I can't see those with or without glasses well right now.
Do you have your glasses with you?
Yeah, but they aren't going to make a big difference. My vision is impaired now seriously since October 18th.
Well, what I'm going to do then, she's been afforded the opportunity to examine the photographs. Physically, she can't. I'll go ahead and mark the exhibits as Composite Exhibit 1 and enter those into evidence, but I'll give it the weight that I think it's appropriate.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Go ahead. Please proceed, Officer Roadhorst.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance reference to the existing violations. I've had several conversations with the owner regarding this case. On February 1st, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations are still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Excuse me? Okay. Let me just look at the photos. Ms. Sheddick, would you tell me why Officer Roadhorst is wrong?
At this point, I would ask that this hearing be postponed till I'm a little bit stronger. I've tried to do my best on some of the things he requested. In the last couple of days, there are things he hasn't even seen that's been improved. I have a most unusual property. I've been a state-certified landscaper, business owner, etc., etc. I know land, I know landscapes, and I know design. I know what looks good, and I know my health.
Your Honor, as we've stated in the previous case, we're not requesting a lien, we're not requesting a penalty, we're requesting compliance with the code, and I have no understand, excuse me, ma'am, that you will grant her reasonable amount of time to come into compliance with the code. That's what we're asking for, and it serves the interest of the entire public health and safety of the community to get this property into compliance. Thank you.
I quite agree, and I'm glad to comply. It's just some things have been a bit beyond my control.
Let's find out what the county is going to recommend, but I want to hear, do you have any further evidence you want to present to me?
Will I be given a second opportunity before you make a final decision?
I'd like to hear everything now so that I can do it all at one time.
I would like to see the survey that the county is presenting regarding some of the issues.
We've not provided a survey, Your Honor.
I do have a survey of the entire county that's certified, but some of the issues are a little confusing. Compliance, I will be glad to accommodate as always. Being disabled and poor is a little tough, but I have bent over backwards. Pardon the joke, my back's broke. I will bring it into compliance. I asked today for some more time.
All right, well, let's find out what the county wants to do with this.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the county recommends respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, and that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you hear that, ma'am?
I did, but I only understood part of it. I have brain damage also. Reading fast is hard for me to absorb.
Yeah, if you went a little slower.
Sorry.
County recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Further, that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Is that a little clearer?
Yeah, thanks.
If I give you additional time to get this done, do you think, say if I were to give you 30 days, that's something you think you can do? That's about as far.
I will sure do my absolute best, but I would appreciate it.
All right, so is there anything else you'd like to present at this time, ma'am? I'm going to give you some additional time.
Thanks. I can't think farther than thanking you.
All right, so in Charlotte County versus Roseanne Shattuck, case COD 173054, pertaining to the property at 22344 Montrose Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida, I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation. I'm going to accept the county's recommendation, but instead of 15 days to clear the zoning, I'm going to give you 30.
Thank you.
Okay? That'll be my ruling.
There you go.
Now we're going to M.
M.
M as in Mary.
Agenda item M, Daniel Parabec, COD 173204.
Daniel Parabec, 22191 Oneida Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida, 33952.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Pretty good, sir.
Thank you. County's going to go first, so let's hear what they've got to say, okay? And then we'll give you full opportunity. We've got Officer Davis. Please proceed.
Paul Davis, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. This is on COD 17-03204. The address of violation is 22191 Oneida Avenue, Port Charlotte. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Daniel Parabec. On October 21st, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address. I observed the following violations: 3 unlicensed vehicles in the driveway, a large boat on blocks, a trailer parked out of setbacks, creating junk-like conditions that prohibited use of the property. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 27th, November 20th, 2017, and also January 24th, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Sir, if you just look at those photographs, let me know if you have any objection to me putting those into evidence.
Oh, they're correct.
Okay, have you had a chance to look at all of them?
I already know. I've been speaking to him recently on the phone in the last month or two.
Okay, if you'd hand those to the gentleman.
Yeah, I know they're correct.
All right, those will be marked as Charlotte County Composite Exhibit 1 admitted into evidence. He's going to finish up here and then we'll
Yes, sir.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance referencing existing violations. I spoke with the homeowner on an occasion before opening the case and explained all the violations that he had. On January 24, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations still substantially are the same.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Bareback, what's going on, sir?
I had health issues in the hurricane. My house was damaged, and some of these old cars go in the garage. My roof collapsed in the garage. That's why my vehicle's out of the garage. And since these pictures, a lot of work's been done since then. My friend's been helping me. All that been cleared already. They're all
what we're looking at in that last.
Yeah, they're all tagged. All my vehicles are tagged. There's only one other vehicle that I got in the driveway, the Mercedes, ain't tagged, but I got tags on everything. And next weekend, the boat would be moved, and that boat sold. The county picked up that white car, It took forever for the county to pick up the yard waste for me to move anything around. Because of the county, I couldn't. My piles was so high, I couldn't back a trailer in to move anything. But recently, the county picked up about a month ago, maybe 5 weeks ago. So since then, these pictures are old. Yeah, these are, like I said, this changed way since then. He was by my house the other day. I spoke to him like 2 days ago, and he told me I got one more tag to do, and everything's on the sit-back zone, and next weekend the boat will be in the water. Though all my old vehicles, they're all tagged, except that red one. I just bought a red one, a 46 panel. I had to pull out of the garage because of the hurricane. The roof collapsed. So I've been dealing with the hurricane, and I haven't been really living in the house because of the mold mildew. And I had surgery. They seen my surgery, my foot operation. But that one, I have to get the registration for that. Next week, I'll have that one registered. If I don't get it back in the garage in a week or two. I just need like 30 days. I'm still fighting with the insurance companies. And they've been out 3 times, and they haven't gave me no money for the damages of my home.
You think you can get everything you just described done?
In 30 days. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
County, have anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
A recommendation, please.
County recommends respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections. At the magistrate enter a 5-year cease and desist order against future violations. That the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists, and that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and costs of the abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Burback, they're asking for 15 days to get everything into compliance. I'm going to give you 30 days.
I appreciate that very
you've told me, because
very much. Yes,
I know you've been through a lot. So.
Yeah, the hurricane. This is the second one.
Yeah, I understand.
Charlie was nasty, but I was the only one that got hit on the whole block here.
I don't want to make your situation any worse.
Okay, I appreciate that.
So,
I'm glad you leaned it with me. Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you, officer.
In Charlotte County versus Daniel Paraback, case COD 173204 pertaining to the parcel at 22191 Oneida Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation.
Yes, sir.
I'll accept the county recommendation, but instead of 15, I'm going to give you the 30 days.
Appreciate it.
And just, I would encourage you to continue to have contact with.
Yeah, the grass is all cut, everything's cut, and move the vehicles around. As soon as I get the garage sealing back up with the drywall, then I can put the cars back in the garage.
Sure, I understand.
Them cars are worth a lot of money and are sitting outside going to waste.
Okay, sir.
All right, thank you.
Good luck with it.
Okay, now we're going to P, as in Paul.
All right, agenda item P, Cynthia Braga Armstrong. If you're here present on that matter, please approach.
Well, I saw one mistake. But it is early.
I don't recall why I pulled that one.
Oh, that was that first one the attorney was on. Oh.
I think we skipped over that. Would you give us your name and address, please, ma'am?
Cynthia Braga Armstrong, 16451 Sprague Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida.
And you were sworn in earlier?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. You know, when everybody does it at one time, it's kind of hard to keep track. So, all right, the county's ready to proceed. Actually, it's proceed. Please.
Officer Bush.
The address of the violation, Charlie Bush, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 16451 Sprague Avenue, zoned RSF 3.5. Owner of record is Cynthia Braggs Armstrong. On May 9th, I conducted an investigation of the address and observed the following conditions: junk-like conditions and high grass. During the investigation, I took photographs of property on January 9th, May 9th, and February 5th, 2018. These photographs fairly and accurately represent conditions I observed. I'd like to offer these photographs in evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Thank you.
Any objection to me admitting those into evidence, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, so those will be marked as Charlotte County Composite Exhibit 1 and admitted into evidence. Please proceed.
Notice of violation was posted in accordance to Florida Statute 162. The respondents were served giving 10 days to come into compliance referencing the existing violations. On February 5th, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the grass was cut and some of the junk was removed, but the red Ford Explorer remains inoperable with 2 flat tires. That ends my testimony.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Further, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. You want to tell me what's going on?
My understanding now is the tires are the only issue.
Correct.
So we have to find a way to get someone out to put tires on the car. I can't drive it like that. So I've just found that out the other day. I have to do some research and hire a company to come out and do exactly that. That's my mom's car. So I got to get it fixed.
You get that done in a couple of weeks, you think?
Money's going to be the issue. If I get, I'm not going to get paid. We kind of changed our pay policy. So if I have enough, that's probably $800, maybe. I mean, I think so. I mean, I'll borrow it if I have to.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a sense. I don't want this to be more difficult than it needs to be if you're going to make a good effort at complying.
Oh, I'm going to. It's just money's going to hold me back.
I understand.
That's all. So I'm going to do my best to get all the money and get a company to come out and do that.
All right, well, let's see what the county wants to do with this. And recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The county recommends a respondent be found in violation of cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, and that furthermore the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and that the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you.
So basically what the county is recommending is that I issue an order to prohibit this violation from occurring again, plus they're giving you, asking me to give you 30 days to get that done.
The tires fixed.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay. What's abatement? I'm sorry, but what does that mean exactly?
Go ahead.
Because I don't know.
That means the county would come in and resolve the code violations itself.
Oh.
And they assess the charge for doing that against your property.
Right.
So,
I'm sorry. Now I understand.
but if you think you can get that done in 30 days, if you run into a jam, please call somebody at the Officer Bush or something.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Yes, sir.
And also, just to clarify, alleviating the problem wouldn't be us actually fixing the tires either. We'd remove the vehicle.
Oh, okay. Well, that helps too. Thank you.
All right. So Charlotte County versus Cynthia Braga Armstrong, COD 162136, pertaining to the property at 16451 Sprague Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and I'll accept the county recommendation. So that means get it done in 30 days. You don't have to pay any cost, okay?
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Good luck with it.
FF.
All right, case on the agenda, double F, COD 173316, W.R. Starnes. If you're here on that matter, please approach. Good morning. Would you each give us your name and address, please, if you expect to testify?
John Moore, 2019 Willow Avenue, Inglewood.
Okay.
And my name is Joan West, and I'm here for W.R. Starnes.
Okay, and have you both been sworn in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's what we just know. Okay, the county will go first, and
Officer Nicolosi.
Darcy Nicolosi, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. The property in violation is 2019 Willow Avenue, and it's zoned MHC. The owner of record is W.R. Starnes. On November 7, 2017, I conducted a proactive investigation of the address and observed the following violation. Commercial boom lift being stored on the property, outside storage of mattresses and box springs, 55-gallon barrels, shopping cart, aluminum, car engine, tire, bookcase, and assorted other debris. This case is being presented as a reoccurring offender. Case COD 1602687 was dismissed for the same violations. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on November 7th, 2017, December 15th, 2017, and February 5th, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Your Honor, if the witness would explain the relationship to Mr. Starnes, I'm not sure we established whether she has the authority to admit or deny those photos as evidence.
Sure. Do you want to explain, ma'am?
Yes. I was under the impression that there is a deed to secure a debt. My husband passed away in 2014. His name is Jim West, owner of the property. We also own JW Productions. I have my letter of administration to take care of Jim West, my husband's estate, property, owned, everything. And W.R. Starnes was a silent partner or best friend or whatever, and there was a deed to secure debt, and I have the I don't have it with me, but I have the quitclaim deed. I have contacted a People's law firm. I was looking up lawyers down here because I live in Fayetteville, Georgia. It's 567 miles. I do know how to do a dispossessory. I am in the process right now of getting a dispossessory because I am unable to clean the property. I've been discussing this. I cannot legally go and clean up his property until I get rid of the tenants, or which they have not paid me anything in over a year. So I'm really, and because Jim passed, he passed away in October. We own a lot of properties. He passed away at tax time for all the properties, not just down here, but in Georgia as well. And I've been struggling paying for these taxes. Some of them have gone a couple of years. And just this past year in the fall, I was able to sell a big piece of property and paid off all liens, credit cards, bills, and everything. So I'm trying to move forward, and I also now have the money to retain an attorney because it's a back and forth, and I'm sure you understand it is a back and forth situation to the courthouse. You know, serve him with the thing, and then I have to go back. Either he answers or not. We get a court date or not. I have to come back if he doesn't answer. You know, that's a long drive.
Okay.
So that's.
Your Honor, just excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, ma'am. All of that is important to the underlying decision by the magistrate, but I don't believe that you've established authority to accept the exhibits or not. So I believe that my motion would be that the exhibits be submitted into evidence, Your Honor.
Okay.
The pictures, yeah, that's fine. But I don't know. It's just a procedural issue. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, I've seen the pictures, and I'm not, I mean, I am surprised, but I'm not. But I'm Mrs. West.
Ma'am, I completely understand, I think, where you're going with your conversation, but this is just a question of whether those can be submitted into evidence, and I don't think you have any authority to say one way or the other, and it's all fine. Perfectly fine.
That's what happens when you ask a question to a witness you don't know the answer to.
Yeah. Well, I've never been on this end of the court. I've never really been a defendant before.
We're going to walk you through it.
Okay.
Okay, so just bear with us because we still have some procedural things to do. The photographs will be marked as Charlotte County Composite Exhibit 1 and admitted into evidence. I have to let the officer finish your testimony, and then we'll get back to you. Please proceed, Officer Nicolosi.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 by posting on December 15, 2017. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. On February 5, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding a major improvement of the property, still have some outside storage to be removed, and a boat on the ground. This concludes my testimony.
Anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. You want to tell me what's going on, ma'am?
Me?
Or no,
I'm going to have to ask
whoever.
Since it's not paid me, why he cannot at least keep the yard clean?
It is clean, and the reason why it was like that is I have kids, and they bring the stuff here to the house. Their friends brought stuff over. The beds that were out there were brought from the foster kids I have, it's parents, and we told them we didn't want them, and they brought them and left them. We were not home, and I had to get rid of all that stuff. The engine was brought by the kids' father to my house, and I told him not to bring it. The shopping cart, we don't know where it came from. We know it was a dollar store shopping cart, but don't know how it got there. But everything's been cleaned up. And
how long have you been living there?
I've been there since 2010.
Okay.
2010, roughly.
Well, I have your contract
Yeah,
in here. So.
I do believe it's 2010. But yeah, a lot of that stuff's been brought by people, my kids' friends, and my kids, which the only kid I have at home that's mine is my oldest son and my grandson that lives with me. Then I have 3 foster kids that live with me.
Right. Anything further from you folks?
No.
Okay. Anything further from the county? If not,
Your Honor, that the last inspection was February 5th. And would you repeat what you said the status was on February 5th?
That there was a major improvement, but there was still outside storage that need to be removed, and there was a boat on the ground.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're obviously prepared for our recommendation, and as you know, as I've stated in the past, what we seek is compliance. We always request that you receive that the respondents receive a reasonable amount of time to come into compliance. So that's what we're hoping to get out of this. Thank you.
What are you saying? Stuff that needs to be removed. Talking about the propane tanks, that's all been taken care of.
Well, when
you were there,
you know what I'm saying?
you asked me to remove.
And the tire,
I got them done that day.
Okay.
The only thing that hadn't been moved yet was the boat, because I got to get somebody to help me. I ain't had nobody to help me there because my son's disabled and he can't lift nothing.
all right. I think we can probably accommodate you. What is the county's recommendation?
County's recommendation, Your Honor, is the respondent be found in violation of cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Further, that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. In 15 days, if the boat's the last thing to be done,
Yeah,
get that done
I just
in
need
15?
2 days. I just got to get one of the guys over there in the boat will be gone. Darcy can come over there in 2-3 days, and it'll be it'll be put in the back of the pickup truck, or it'll be put elsewhere. So.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Charlotte County versus W.R. Starn, COD 173316, pertaining to the parcel at 2019 Willow Avenue, Inglewood, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as my order. So that means if you get this boat out of there and that is the last thing, then you won't be paying any fine. Okay.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yep. It'll be squared away in a couple days.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day.
K.
What letter?
K.
Oh, double K.
Yeah.
We have a double K.
Yeah.
COD 171566, Rebel and Angela Ashley. If you're here on that matter, please approach. Double K. Yeah, I'll find out.
Yeah.
Good morning, ma'am. Would you give us your name and address, please?
My name is Angela Ashley, 3392 Como Street in Port Charlotte.
Miss Ashley, did you get the oath administered by the clerk of the court?
Yes.
You did?
When you did it. Yes,
Oh, okay.
I've been here since.
Okay, thank you. Just a little housekeeping rule we got to check. When you do it all at one time, it's hard to
Okay, yeah,
keep track.
I did it before.
Okay. If the county's ready to proceed, it's first witness.
Please proceed.
Good morning, Gail Gursky, Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 1357 Ramsdale Street. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Rubel and Angela Ashley. On May 30th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and checked the Charlotte County database and observed the following violations. Permit number 2011-030-2524 for interior remodel and permit number 2012-121-4747 for window replacement had both expired without receiving final inspections.
Excuse me, may I just interrupt you? Can we take that off until everything's been admitted into evidence, please, off the screen? Thank you. Please proceed. I'm sorry.
A courtesy letter was sent out outlining the violations and allowing 30 days for compliance. On June 28, 2017, I did a follow-up inspection, and both expired permits had been renewed. However, they expired again on December 5, 2017. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on May 30, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs and copies of the permit database into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Oh, look, they're coming on TV.
Yeah, they were showing them on
TV. I've been watching the TV all day. So.
Ms. Ashley, do you have any objection to me admitting those?
No, sir. No,
okay,
sir.
so those will be marked as Composite Exhibit 1 for the county and admitted into evidence. Please proceed, Officer Gursky.
Okay. The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to into compliance for the existing violations. I've had no communication with the owners regarding this case. On February 6, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your
Honor. Ms. Ashley, could you tell me what's going on with the permits?
I don't like being on this end. But anyway,
I know it's not pleasant.
You know, right now I'm at the point where everybody that was supposed to be helping me with this have dropped the ball, and my husband is now too old and too sick. That's why he's not here. But there's no excuses for this because I came down and I called myself trying to do whatever I was supposed to do. I got your letters. My son, I'm not even talking to him right now. He's a contractor, a general contractor, and he wrote a letter to one of you guys at the courts, and he was supposed to help me and get this done. And I don't know what he's done. He hasn't done anything apparently because I'm standing here without him. And so I right now I just want somebody to just tell me what do I do next and proceed to get this taken care of because this is a burden. Okay. And nobody, my neighbor, we got a guy to help us, which all of this is not even that important right now, but we got a guy that said, oh, you should turn the garage into another bedroom, and we let him talk us into that, our friend. And then he's up north now. He doesn't even live here anymore. So, and I didn't even know he didn't close the permit until when I got the letter years ago from you guys. And then I go, what is this? And so I've dropped the ball. Everybody have dropped the ball, and I have too. I just want to do what I need to do and straighten it out.
I'll see if I can't get you some guidance.
Thank you. Please do.
Anything further from the county at this point? If not, it's recommendation.
Nothing further, Your Honor. We obviously be willing to speak to the respondent regarding what she needs to do to resolve this matter. But our recommendation is that the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that she be granted 30 days from the date of your order to renew the expired permits and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Okay.
I'll explain that to you momentarily.
Because I finally know what abatement means. Back there, I heard the other lady ask, and I was hoping somebody did. So I didn't know what it meant either, but I know now.
What it means is that there are open permits on your property that have to be closed. So you need to either close them yourself or hire a contractor to close them.
Right.
It's very simple. And then comply with the remainder of the resolve the remainder of the violations to the extent that they exist.
Right. Right. And I have.
All right. So.
Okay. So is somebody going to help me do whatever I'm supposed to do, or is that what we're saying? I have 30 days to hire a contract and get it done. What are you saying? I want to just make sure.
Yeah, Ms. Ashley,
explain it to me?
Yeah. Officer Gursky's going to.
Okay, I don't want to waste any more of your time.
No, you're not wasting my time. We want to see her on television too, believe it or not.
Yeah, by the way, I like
but we try to educate both, the public and as well as the respondents.
Never had a problem with this county, so I don't want one now.
Well, what we want to do is we'll get you at least pointed the right direction.
Okay.
We won't be able to do everything for you, but at least we can get you pointed, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Charlotte County versus Rebel Ashley, COD 171566, pertaining to the parcel at 1357 Ramsdale Street, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth on notice of violation. I'll accept the county recommendation. So that means if you get this all done in 30 days, no fine, no nothing, okay?
Okay.
But you do, but they'll explain to you what I've adopted in the hallway, okay? All right, if you want to meet with, unless she has another case, you have anything else?
Good.
Okay.
I think that's people that's here.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. I think that concludes all of the. I'm sorry?
I'd like to ask the audience if there's anybody else here that we did not check in.
Is anybody here on a case that hasn't been called yet? All right, then keeping with tradition, we'll go ahead and take a 15-minute break at this time. All right, this is the Charlotte County Code Enforcement hearings. We're back in session. We're going to pick up at new business agenda item F, COD 17-2943, Ramon Garcia. If you're present on that matter, please approach the podium. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, so it looks like we have Officer Roadhorst.
Officer Roadhorst.
Hey, good morning. Gary Roadhorst, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 21323 Cottonwood Avenue. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Ramon T. Garcia. On October 10th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. The property lacking protective treatment on the wood surfaces, a sidewalk not maintained in good repair, downspouts not maintained in good repair, and debris in the yard creating a junk-like condition and prohibited use. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 11th, November 13th of 2017, January 17th, and January 31st of 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the condition I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Okay, those will be so marked and admitted, being there's no one here on behalf of the respondent. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was posted in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I've had no contact with the owner regarding this case. On January 31st, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations are still substantially the same. That is the end of my testimony.
Is there anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor. County recommends the respondent be found in violation of cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, and that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. In Charlotte County, Ramon Garcia, COD 17-2943, pertained to the parcel at 21323 Cottonwood Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as my order. This is agenda
Number I.
COD 17-3206, Keith Gurlt and Amy Hosp. Note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, so if the county is ready to proceed, it looks like we have Officer Roadhorst.
The address of the violation is 22424 Lake Avenue. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owners of record are Keith H. Gurlt and Amy Hosp. On October 27th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: outside storage of plastics, wood, metal, and assorted other debris, a screen enclosure that is not maintained in good repair, and fences that have not been maintained in good repair. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 27th, December 21st of 2017, and January 30th of 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
And those will be so admitted and marked since there's no objection and no one present on behalf of the respondent. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was posted in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I've had no contact with the owner regarding this case. On January 30th, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations are still substantially the same. That is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. Do we have anything else further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Recommendation, please.
County recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, requests that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day. Furthermore, the county requests that it may abate the property in the event of noncompliance and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs. Thank you.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Keith Gurlt and Amy Haas, COD 17-3206, pertaining to the parcel at 22424 Lakika Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order.
J.
All right, and that takes us to agenda item J, COD 172440, MPM Investor Services, Inc. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, so if we're ready to go, we have Officer Drown.
Drown.
Thank you. John Drown, Charlotte County Code Compliance Officer. COD 17-02440. The address of the violation is 15546 Maple Tree Drive, Punta Gorda, Florida. The zoning is manufactured home, conventional. The owner of record is MPM Investor Services, Inc. On August 14th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: high grass and weeds, plastic, metal, trash, creating junk-like condition and prohibited use. During the investigation, I took photos on August 14th, 30th, September 25th, November 27th, December 19th of 2017, January 25th of 2018. These photos clearly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to enter these photographs into evidence as Charlotte County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance to reference the existing violation. I have not had contact with the owner regarding this case. On January 25th, 2017, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Anything further from the county? If not, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, request the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists. The county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus MPM Investor Services, Inc., COD 172440, pertaining to the parcel at 15546 Maple Tree Drive, Punta Gorda, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order in this matter. Okay, that takes us to agenda item K, COD 172649, Anthony Gravino. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. So if the county is ready to proceed, looks like we have Officer Drown again.
Officer Drown.
Thank you. John Drown, Certified Code Compliance Officer, COD 17-02649. The address of violation is 373 Bolander Street, Punta Gorda, Florida. The zoning is residential 3.5. The owner of record is Anthony Gravino. On August 29, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: an unpermitted remodel and roof replacement. I placed a stop work order. During the investigation, I took photos on August 29th, October 11th, December 4th of 2017, January 17th, 25th of 2018. These photos clearly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to enter these photos into evidence as Charlotte County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance to reference the existing violation. I have had contact with the owner regarding this case. He stated he would obtain an after-the-fact permit and provide engineering if needed. On January 25th, 2017, I conducted a final inspection, finding the violation still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
And for the record, would you indicate how specifically they were served, the owner?
Yes, sir, and posted the property as well.
Okay, thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violations, that he be given 30 days to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance, and then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Anthony Gravino, COD 172649, pertaining to the property of 373 Bolander Street, Punta Gorda, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order in that matter. For the record, case L, COD 170880, there's a dismissal of section 3-9-33E and 3-9-76, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, those will stand dismissed. We'll call that case at this time. COD 170880, Michael Dowse and Valerie Dowse. A note for the record that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. So if the county is ready to proceed, it's first witness.
Davis.
Paul Davis, Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. This is in reference COD 1700880. The address of the violation is 891 Silver Springs Terrace. The zoning is RSF 3.5, and the owner of record is Michael and Valerie D. Dowse. This has been continued from the August 2017. On April 3rd, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. Check of the Charlotte County database, found an expired permit 2007-03-2479 for residential addition, which expired after renewal on January 28, 2018, so it's expired now. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on April 3rd, May 17th, June 9th, May 1st, June 9th, July 25th of 2017, and also July 30th, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the condition I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference to existing violations. I've had no communication with the owners regarding this case. On January 30th, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violation still substantially was the same.
Okay, and how was the respondent served in this?
By letter. They're on the original one in August.
Anything further from the county at this time?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends respondents be found in violation of the cited Florida Building Code sections 105.4 and 110.3, that the respondents be granted 30 days from the date of your order to renew the expired permits and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Okay. The letter that was sent to the respondent, was that sent certified mail?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I just want to be sure.
Did you post the property?
No, I didn't have to post it because I got returned mail.
Okay, thank you.
I have it here if you need.
No, he's got it in the file.
Okay.
I just want to make that the record. Sometimes with a potential challenge, I just want to put the method of service.
Thank you, sir.
Most of the officers are very good. They'll say they served it by posting or whatever, but I'm going to invoke a policy now to make sure that, especially when they're not here, that we have the method of service in the record. Okay, county recommendation, you give that to me?
Yes, I did. Did, Your Honor.
Then, that's right, I'm sorry. I got sidetracked there. Charlotte County versus Michael and Valerie Dowse, 170880, pertaining to the parcel at 891 Silver Springs Terrace, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation, less the dismissed charges, and accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes us to agenda item N as in Nancy. COD 3350, Robert and Joseph Oppold. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent.
Mr. Davis.
Paul Davis, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. This is on COD 1703350. The address of the violation is 140 Graham Street, Port Charlotte. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Joseph Opold and Robert Opold. On November 14, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following. Damaged seawall that was falling into the water and damaging the dock. Violation of International Property Maintenance Code 3027, accessory structures. During the investigation, I took photographs on the property on November 14th, November 27th, 2017, and January 29th, 2018. The photographs fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer these photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
A notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162, which was certified mail. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference to existing violations. I have had one phone call with the owner and explained the violations, but have no other contact. On January 29, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the violations still substantially are the same.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections. That respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Robert Joseph Oppold, COD 173350, pertaining to the parcel at 140 Graham Street, Southeast, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. I have next matter, agenda item O, COD 173443, Wells Fargo Bank. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. So if the county is ready to proceed, its first witness, please.
Officer Davis.
Paul Davis, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. This is on COD 17-03443. The address of violation is 106 Leland Street Southeast, Port Charlotte, Florida. The zoning is RSF 3.5, and the owner of record is Wells Fargo Bank Trustee. On November 27, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. A check of the Charlotte County database found that permit number 2005-07-0227 expired June 4, 2012, and that was a reference to a screened enclosure and door. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on November 27th, December 27th, 2017, and January 25th, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the condition I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those are so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
The notice violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162, also certified mail. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing existing conditions, violations. I've had no communication with the owners regarding the case, and on January 25, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, find the property still had the expired permits. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to renew the expired permits and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., COD 173443, pertaining to the parcel at 106 Leland Street Southeast, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order.
Now we're going to Q.
That's what. Okay. Agenda item Q, COD 17312, Michael and Barbara Green. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondents, and I see we have Officer Bush ready to go.
Officer Bush.
Good afternoon. My name is Charlie Bush. I'm Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. Address of the violation is 1242 Minot Avenue and is zoned RSF 3.5. Owner of record are Michael and Barbara Green. On October 9th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violation: a roof being shingled without a permit. During the investigation, I took photographs on the property on April 14th, 4th, 2017, October 9th, 2017, and December 4th, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer these photographs in evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
That'll be marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
Notice of violation was served in accordance of Statute 162, and the respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing the existing violation. On February 2nd, I conducted the final inspection, finding no permit for the roof.
All right, I see that service was affected by posting.
No, this was, yes, it was.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. According to the picture right in front of me.
Don't you hate when that happens?
I do. Busted that one.
The county has nothing further. Its recommendation, please.
Nothing further, Your Honor. The county recommends respondents be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation, that be given 30 days to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance, then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
All right, then Charlotte County versus Michael and Barbara Green, COD 17-312, pertaining to the parcel at 12420 Minot Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes us to agenda item R, COD 17-1988, Terry Duff. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondents. We have Officer Bush.
Officer Bush.
My name's Charlie Bush, Certified Code Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 5281 Cooper Terrace and is zoned RSF 3.5. Owner of record is Terry Duff. On March 7, 2017, I conducted an investigation of the address and observed the following violation: a sailboat stored on jack stands. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on December 13, 2017 and February 2, 2018. These photographs fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer these photographs into evidence as County Composite 1.
They will be marked and admitted. Please proceed.
Notice of violation was served by mail in accordance of Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing the existing violation. On February 2nd, I conducted the final inspection, finding a sailboat remains on the jack stands.
I see that that service was affected by certified mail.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. County recommendation has nothing further.
County recommends respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections. Request that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations. That the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. That the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Terry Duff, COD 17-1988, pertaining to the parcel at 5281 Cooper Terrace, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county's recommendation as the order. Agenda item S, COD 17-2001, Richard and KENNETH Barone. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. And we've got Officer Bush.
My name is Charlie Bush, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. Address of the violation is 4416 Whisper Road, and it's zoned RSF 5. The owner of record are Richard and KENNETH Barone, and on December 8, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address, observed the following violations of outdoor storage of wood, dryer, furniture, and other debris creating junk-like conditions, and an unpermitted carport out of setbacks. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on July 11th, August 29th, and of 2017, and February 2nd, 2018. These photographs fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer these photographs into evidence as County Composite 1.
Is So will be so marked and admitted.
Notice of violation was posted in accordance to Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing the existing violations. On February 2nd, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding all violations remain the same.
And I see that the affidavit of posting is filed. If nothing further from the county, its recommendation.
Your Honor, the county recommends the response be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the magistrate enter a 2-year cease and desist against future violations, that the response be granted 30 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and to obtain all other necessary permits and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. The county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. Just tear that one off, I guess. Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Richard and KENNETH Barone, COD 17-2001, pertaining to the parcel at 4416 Whisper Road, Port Charlotte, Florida. The undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and the county's recommendation is accepted as the order. Agenda item T's and Tango. Konstantin and Tatiana Vasilenko.
Officer Bush.
Was that close?
Better than I'm going to do. My name is Charlie Bush. I'm a certified code compliance officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 11061 Sandrift Avenue in a zoned RS 3.5. The owner of record is Konstantin and Tatiana Vasilenko. Lico. On December 7th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violation: a semi parked in a 3.5 residential zone. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on September 29th, October 10th, and December 7th, 2017. These photographs fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer these photographs in evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those are so marked and admitted.
The notice of violation was served by mail in accordance of Florida Statute 162. The respondent was served, giving 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. On February 2nd, I conducted the final inspection, finding no semi, but it will be back.
All right. And I see that you served it by certified mail, the notice. Okay. County recommendation, please.
Bush is a certified code compliance officer and a soothsayer.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to announce for the record, no one was here on behalf of the respondents.
The county recommends the response be found in violation of cited code sections, requests the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, and that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Konstantin and Tatiana Vasilenko, COD 17-2821, pertaining to the parcel at 11061 Sandrift Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. Find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as the order. Okay, agenda item U, COD 16-3421, Silfredo Nina and Tania Medina. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, so we have Officer Leonard.
My name is Rhonda Leonard. I'm certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. 21421 Kenyon Avenue is zoned RSF 3.5. The owners of record are Silfredo Nina and Tania Medina. On October 31st, 2016, I conducted an inspection at the address and noted the following violations: of damaged exterior walls on the side enclosed porch, screens missing from windows, a window sealed shut with tape creating a means of egress safety issue, and evidence of insect activity. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 31st, 2016, November 6, 2017, and February 5th, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs and permit history into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those would be so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
A warning letter was sent to the owners giving 30 days to comply. Review of permitting on April 24, 2017 found a permit to replace and repair the exterior walls and window installation was issued on March 8, 2017. Review of permitting on September 15, 2017 found the permit expired on September 4th. Site inspection found all the violations previously cited had been corrected. A notice was sent to the owners concerning the expired permit. An inspection and review of permitting on November 6, 2017 found the carport enclosed into a garage, and the permit remains expires. No permit on file for the carport enclosure. Notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 via certified mail. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I have contacted the owners by phone messaging and email regarding this case. A review of permitting and site inspection on February 5, 2018 found the permit remains expired. A permit for a garage door was applied for on January 29th, but was rejected in plans as it did not include the enclosure. That concludes my testimony.
And they were served by registered mail, I see. Anything further from the county? If not, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends a response be found in violation of cited code sections. That response be granted 30 days from the date of your order to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance and to renew expired permit, and then pass all final inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Silfredo Nina and Tania Medina, COD 163421 pertaining to the parcel at 21421 Kenyon Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the charges set forth in notice of violation have been established by the undisputed evidence and accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes to agenda item V as in Victor, COD 173211 Tarpon 4 LLC. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, so if the county is ready to proceed.
Officer Leonard.
Officer Leonard.
My name is Rhonda Leonard. I'm a certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. 21107 Burchell Avenue is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Tarpon 4 LLC. On October 30th, 2017, I conducted an inspection at the address and noted the following violation of excessive growth of grass and weeds. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on October 30th, 2017 and January 31st, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted.
Notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 by certified mail, was prepared as a repeat violator. Due to a previous case for the same violation, the cease and desist order expired September 2nd, 2017. Respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violation. I've had no communication with the owners regarding this case. On January 31st, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the grass remains in violation. This concludes my testimony.
Okay, and I see they were served by certified mail.
Yes.
County recommendation, please.
County recommends respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections. County requests the entry of a 5-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, that the county be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Tarpon 4 LLC, COD 173211, pertaining to the parcel at 21107 Burchell Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence is established by, the undisputed facts have been established that are set forth in the notice of violation, except the county's recommendation as my order. I can almost say that. Case COD 173283 Jacob Beachy. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, and we have Officer Leonard, so please proceed.
My name is Rhonda Leonard. I'm a certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. 21307 Gladys Avenue is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Jacob Peachy. On November 3, 2017, I conducted an inspection at the address and noted the following violation. Outside storage of miscellaneous items, including but not limited to buckets, lumber, a large wood cabinet, bed frame, window frames, and assorted other debris, creating a junk-like condition and prohibited use of the property. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on November 3, 2017 and February 1, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 via certified mail, was prepared as a repeat violator due to a previous case for the same violation, and the cease and desist order expired September 2, 2017. Respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I have had no communication with the owner regarding this case. February 1, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the outside storage remains on the property. This concludes my testimony.
And I see they were served by certified mail. The county has nothing further to its recommendation.
County recommends respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, request the entry of a 5-year cease and desist order against future violations, that the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $100 per day for each day a violation exists. Furthermore, the county requests abatement in the event of noncompliance and the cost of the abatement to be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Jacob Peachy, COD 173283. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes us to case X, COD 173411, OCOB, ACU, WAB. No one is present on behalf of the respondent. So we have Officer Leonard, so please proceed. Officer Leonard.
My name is Rhonda Leonard. I'm a certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. 21090 Ionia Avenue is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is OCOB Abacab. On November 20th, 2017, I conducted an inspection at the address and noted the following violations of a fire-damaged house with holes in the roof, damaged decking, damaged rafters and trusses, most roofing components were damaged, damaged support columns, structural cracks in a wall of the utility room, broken windows, damaged or missing exterior doors, leaving the residence unsecured, damaged interior walls, ceilings falling in, evidence of insect and rodent activity, the service disconnect panel damaged, fuse box damaged, branch circuits damaged, outlets and switches damaged, no light fixtures, no water heater, some plumbing had been stripped, and the LP gas tank damaged. The property was posted as unsafe and unfit for human habitation. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on November 20th, 2017 and January 30th, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be marked and admitted.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 via certified mail. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I have had no communication with the owner regarding this case. On January 30th, 2018, a review of permitting found no permits have been applied for to make repairs or to demolish the structure. Site inspection found no change in the conditions. This concludes my testimony.
Thank you. If the county doesn't have anything further, its recommendation.
Your Honor, the county recommends respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections. The respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to comply with the International Property Maintenance Code by obtaining any necessary permits to bring the property into compliance, or obtain demolition permits to remove the structure, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Furthermore, the county requests that it be permitted to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and that the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
You know, this particular property has been in front of me, I don't know how many times. Is this a record holder?
Actually, I think the 26th affidavit just went through on another case that I have for grass. It's been left abandoned for all these years, and somebody was squatting in it, caught it on fire.
I think this is going to be abated.
Okay. All right. I was just kind of curious.
I'm being the soothsayer now.
All righty. Charlotte County versus OCOB whatever, I hope I pronounced it right, and didn't mean to offend him if he's watching. Is pertaining to the parcel of property located at 21090 Ionia Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes us to case Y, COD 173415, Calvin Guillaume. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, and we have Officer Leonard teed up.
Officer Leonard.
My name is Rhonda Leonard. I'm a certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. 3282 Crestwood Drive is owned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Calvin T. Guillaume. November 17, 2017, I conducted an inspection at the address and noted the following violation of excessive growth of grass and weeds. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on November 17th and December 7th of 2017 and February 1st, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those to be so marked and admitted.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 by posting on December 7th, 2017, was prepared as a repeat violator due to a previous case for the same violation. The cease and desist order expired December 2nd. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violation. I've had no communication with the owner regarding this case. On February 1st, I conducted the final inspection, finding the grass was not in violation at that time as it was cut through the previous cease and desist order late November and hasn't grown back yet. However, I am seeking to obtain the cease and desist order. This concludes my testimony.
All right, the county has nothing further. Its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends respondent be found in violation of cited code sections, requests the entry of a 5-year cease and desist order against future violations, that respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Furthermore, the county requests permission to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and that the cost of abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Calvin Guillaume, COD 173415, pertaining to the parcel at 3282 Crestwood Drive, Port Charlotte, Florida, find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes us to case agenda item Z, as in zebra, COD 173572, Lawrence and Tara Shepard. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, so we have Officer Leonard teed up. So,
Officer Leonard.
My name is Rhonda Leonard. I'm a certified code enforcement officer for Charlotte County. 21914 Haymans Avenue is zoned RSF 3.5. The owners of record are Lawrence W. and Tara A. Shepard. On December 5th, 2017, I conducted an inspection at the address and noted the following violation of excessive growth of grass and weeds. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on December 5th, 2017, January 4th, and February 1st of 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be marked and admitted as requested.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 by posting on January 4th and was prepared as a repeat violator due to previous cases for the same violation. The cease and desist order expired. Respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I've had no communications with the owners regarding this case. February 1st, I conducted the final inspection, finding the grass not in violation at this time as it was cut through a notice of public nuisance process in December. However, I am asking to obtain the cease and desist order. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. The county has nothing further. Its recommendation.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, requests the entry of a 5-year cease and desist order against future violations, request the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Furthermore, the county requests permission to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Lawrence and Tara Shepard, COD 173572, pertaining to the parcel at 21914 Haymans Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes us to case CC at COD 172744 James Vorse. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, and we have Officer Nicolosi lined up.
Officer Nicolosi.
Darcy Nicolosi, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. The property in violation is 2871 12th Street and is zoned RSF 5. The owner of record is James D. Voris, Jr. On September 18, 2017, based upon a complaint, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations: several unlicensed and/or inoperative vehicles and trailers, outside storage of a boat in disrepair, houseboat in disrepair, fence in disrepair, tarps, tools, trash, and assorted other debris. Also observed high grass and weeds. A letter was sent to the owner giving 15 days to comply. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on September 18th, October 5th, November 28th, all in 2017, and January 30th, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. On October 5th, 2017, I conducted a reinspection, found the back part of the fence had been replaced and the violations in the backyard could be observed to see if they had been corrected. October 26th, the owner called and he was upset that the boat needs to be on a trailer. He asked how I could have seen. I explained that when the original inspection was conducted, the back part of the fence was down from the storm. On December 5th, 2017, Mr. Voris requested a continuance of the case to allow time for him to remove the vehicles. The case was continued to the February meeting. On January 30th, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding 2 unlicensed vehicles still on site. This concludes my testimony.
And I see they were originally served by certified mail. County has nothing further. Its recommendation.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections. Requests the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations. Request the respondent be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear zoning violations or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Furthermore, the county requests permission to abate the property in an event of noncompliance and the cost of abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus James D. Voris, Jr. COD 172744, pertaining to the parcel at 2871 12th Street, Englewood, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county's recommendation as my order. Agenda item DD, COD 172842, Joanne Hurt. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. We have Officer Nicolosi. So.
Officer Nicolosi.
Darcy Nicolosi, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. The property in violation is 1901 Georgia Avenue and is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Joe Ann Hurt. On September 25th, 2017, based upon a complaint, I conducted an inspection of the address, observed the following violation. Part of the dock in disrepair, boards falling off the structure, seawall in disrepair, crumbling along the right side of the property. A letter was sent to the owner giving 30 days to comply. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on September 25th, November 2nd, and December 20th of 2017, and January 30th, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the condition I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 by posting on December 20th, 2017. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. On January 30th, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the conditions remained the same. This concludes my testimony.
If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
County recommends respondent be found in violation of cited code sections. Requests the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations. That the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and to bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. The county requests permission to abate the property in event of noncompliance, and that the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Okay. I note the respondent served by posting of Charlotte County versus Joanne Hurt, COD 172842, pertaining to the parcel at 1901 Georgia Avenue, Englewood, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation, accept the county recommendation as the order. All right, takes us to agenda item EE, COD 172869, Kevin Gilmore, and I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. Looks like we have Officer Nicolosi again.
Nicolosi.
Darcy Nicolosi, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. The property in violation is located at 828 East 7th Street and is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Kevin Gilmore. On September 20th, 2017, I conducted an inspection finding a pergola attached to the residence and a fence installed on the property. A review of the Charlotte County database found permits had not been issued for the pergola or the fence. A letter was sent to the owner, giving 30 days to comply. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on September 20th, 2017, and January 5th, 2018, and January 31st, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Okay. Those will be marked and admitted as requested.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 by posting on January 5th, 2018. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing the existing violation. Spoke with the owner on January 19th, 2018, and he stated that the pergola has been removed and that he would get the fence permit. On January 31st, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the pergola removed, and a review of the database found a fence permit had not been submitted. This concludes my testimony.
Okay. The county has nothing further as recommended.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation, and that the owner be given 30 days to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance, and then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Kevin Gilmore, case COD 172869, pertaining to the parcel at 828 East 7th Street, Englewood, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the charges set forth in the notice of violation, and accept the county recommendation as my order. All right, that takes us to case GG, COD 173558, Thomas and Nikki Pecora. I note no one is present on behalf of the respondent.
Officer Nicolosi.
Darcy Nicolosi, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. The property in violation is 10377 Sunday Drive and is zoned RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Thomas and Nikki Marie Pecora. On December 4th, 2017, I conducted a proactive inspection of the address and observed the following violation: cargo trailer parked out of required setback, swale area, outside storage of an AC unit, wood container, and assorted other debris. This case is being presented as a recurring offender, as case COD 17-01022 was dismissed for the same violations. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on December 4th, 2017, January 5th, 2018, and January 30th, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted as requested.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162 by posting on January 5th, 2018. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. On January 30th, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding the cargo trailer still has setbacks and the outside storage remained on site. This concludes my testimony.
County has nothing further as recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondents be found in violation of cited code sections, request the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations, request that the respondents be granted 15 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists, Furthermore, the county requests permission to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement may be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Thomas and Nikki Pecora, COD 173558, pertaining to the parcel at 10377 Sunday Drive, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. All right, takes us to HH, COD 163325, Chad Keach. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. And we have Officer Moore.
Cornell Moore, Certified Code Compliance Officer, Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 18544 Alphonse Circle. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Chad A. Keach. On December 1st, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. A permitted and finaled metal carport was enclosed without a permit. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on August 29th, September 1st, October 11th, and December 1st, 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs and a copy of the original plans into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those be marked and admitted as requested.
The notice of violation was served by certified mail in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I have had no contact with the owner. On February 6, 2018, I conducted the final inspection of the county permitting system, finding the violations still the same. This ends my testimony.
I had a question. You said a permitted and final metal carport was enclosed without a permit.
They had a permit for a metal carport just with a roof and four posts, and they enclosed that carport once the finals were completed for the carport. They were only permitted for the metal carport.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to clarify that for the record. Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
In your head, anyway.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the code sections listed in the notice of violation. That respondent be given 30 days to apply for and obtain all necessary permits to bring the property into compliance, and then pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. In Charlotte County versus Chad Keach, COD 163325, pertaining to the parcel at 18544 Alphonse Circle, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order.
Current date.
That takes us to LL, COD 172465, Sandra Davis. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent, so we have Officer Moore. Please proceed.
Officer Moore, Dolphin Avenue.
Officer Moore, Certified Code and Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. The address of violation is 861 Dolphin Avenue. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is Sandra M. Davis. On August 15, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. Overgrowth of grass and weeds, outside storage of buckets, a fence in disrepair, and all other miscellaneous items creating junk-like conditions. At that time, once I spoke to the owner, she cleared the junk-like conditions and removed an inoperable vehicle from the property. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on August 15th, October 17th of 2017. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I would like to offer the photographs and into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served by certified mail in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. I met and spoke with the owner and had to let her know what needed to be corrected. And at this time, the only thing that needed to be corrected was that she moved the shed without a permit. On December 4th, 2017, I conducted the final inspection of the county permitting system, finding the violations still the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. I noticed that the county wanted to dismiss IPMC sections 301.2 and 302.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, those will be dismissed, and if the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections. The respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to apply for and obtain all other necessary permits and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Sandra Davis, COD 17-2465, pertaining to the parcel at 861 Dolphin Avenue, Port Charlotte, Florida. Find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county's recommendation as my order. Takes us to case agenda JJ. K. Foreman. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. Officer Moore is lined up, so please proceed.
Officer Moore.
Ronell Moore, Certified Code Enforcement Officer for Charlotte County. The address of the violation is 4058 Dotham Street. The zoning is RSF 3.5. The owner of record is K. Foreman. On November 3rd, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the address and observed the following violations. Outside storage of tarps, plastic, metal, wood, and other miscellaneous debris, creating junk-like conditions and prohibited use of the property. There is also a lattice fence that is in disrepair. During the investigation, I took photographs of the property on November 3rd, November 28th, and December 11th of 2017, and then January 29th, 2018. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed. I'd like to offer the photographs into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1.
Those will be so marked and admitted as requested. Please proceed.
The notice of violation was served by certified mail in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance to reference the existing violations. I have had no contact with the owner. On January 29, 2018, I conducted the final inspection of the property, finding the violations are still substantially the same. This is the end of my testimony.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of cited code sections. Request the entry of a 2-year cease and desist order against future violations. Request the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to clear the zoning violations and bring the property into compliance with the International Property Maintenance Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists. Furthermore, the county requests permission to abate the property in the event of noncompliance, and the cost of the abatement be added to the fines and costs.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus K. Foreman, COD 173292, pertaining to the parcel at 4058 Dotham Street, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. Takes us, I've got LL, Clara Ramirez. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. So we have Officer Welsh.
Officer Welsh.
Hi, Wendy Welsh, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. Property in violation is located at 370 Fairhaven Street, Port Charlotte, Florida, and is zoned RSF 3.5. Owner on record is Clara Ramirez. On July 13, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the above-referenced address and reviewed the Charlotte County permitting database and did observe permit 011110111735 was issued for a residential roof shingle replacement. This permit expired without receiving final inspections. Courtesy letter was sent outlining the violations and allowing 30 days for compliance. I did a follow-up inspection on August 14, 2017, and the permit remained expired. On July 13, 2017, during the course of the investigation, I took photographs of the property. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed, and I would like to offer the photographs and permit history into evidence as County Composite Exhibit 1. You did that. The notice of violation was served in accordance with the... Oh, sorry.
We'd like to we request that you accept Composite Exhibit 1.
Oh, there they are. Okay, I covered them up. I'm sorry. They'll be marked and admitted as requested. I threw the order on top of it. And
please proceed, Officer Welsh.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. Respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, referencing the existing violations. On February 7, 2017, I conducted final inspection, finding conditions remain the same.
That concludes your testimony?
Yes, sir.
and I noticed they were served back in August and then followed with some continuance by certified mail. So if the county has nothing further, its recommendation, please.
Your Honor, the county recommends the respondent be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to renew the expired permits and pass all the inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Clara Ramirez, COD 17-208-6, pertaining to the parcel at 370 Fairhaven Street, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order. Got case MM, Kevin and Dawn, DAWN COLLIER. I note that no one is present on behalf of the respondent. We have
Officer Welsh.
Wendy Welsh, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. Property in violation is located at 4398 Meager Circle, Port Charlotte, Florida. It is owned RSF 5. Owner on record is Kevin E. Kohler and Dawn E. Kohler. On August 21st, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the above referenced address and reviewed the Charlotte County permitting database and did observe permit 2016-051-0452 was issued for a water heater. The above reference permit is expired without receiving final inspections. A courtesy letter was sent outlining the violations and allowing 30 days for compliance. I did a follow-up inspection on November 7th, 2017, and the permit still had an expired status. On August 21st, during the investigation, I took photographs of the property. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed and would like to offer the photographs and permit history into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Those will be marked and admitted as requested, please.
Those photos were taken on August 21st, 2017, Officer?
Yes.
Thank you.
The notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. On February 7, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding conditions remain the same. That's the end of my testimony.
Thank you, Officer.
And then, just for the record, I note they were served by certified mail. County has nothing further its recommendation.
The county recommends the response be found in violation of the cited code sections, that the respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to renew the expired permits and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Kevin and Dawn Kohler, COD 17-2493, renting the parcel at 4398 Meager Circle, Port Charlotte, Florida. I find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county recommendation as my order.
Last case.
Down to case NN, COD 17-2755, Thomas Young. I note no one is present on behalf of the respondent. And we have Officer Welsh again, so take it.
Wendy Welsh, Certified Code Compliance Officer for Charlotte County. Property in violation is located at 37 Oakland Hills Court, Rotunda West, Florida, and is zoned RSF 5. Owner on record is Thomas James Young. On September 20th, 2017, I conducted an inspection of the above referenced address and reviewed Charlotte County permitting database. Did observe permit 2013-01-00401 was issued for a residential roof permit. Tear off tile and replace with shingle. The above reference permit is expired without receiving final inspections. The reinspection fees are past due. A courtesy letter was sent out outlining the violations and allowing 30 days for compliance. I did a follow-up inspection on October 10th, 2017, and the permit still has an expired status. On September 20th, 2017, during the investigation, I took photographs of the property. These photos fairly and accurately represent the conditions I observed, and I would like to offer the photographs and permit history into evidence as County Composite Exhibit Number 1.
Okay, those will be marked and admitted as requested.
Thank you. Notice of violation was served in accordance with Florida Statute 162. The respondent was given 10 days to come into compliance, reference the existing violations. On February 7, 2018, I conducted the final inspection, finding conditions remain the same. That's the end of my testimony.
Thank you. If the county has nothing further, it's recommended.
Your Honor, the county recommends respondent be found in violation of cited code sections, that respondent be granted 30 days from the date of your order to renew the expired permits and pass all inspections in accordance with the Florida Building Code, or thereafter face a fine of $50 per day for each day a violation exists.
Thank you. Charlotte County versus Thomas Young, COD 172755, pertaining to the parcel at 37 Oakland Hills Court, Rotunda, West Florida. Find that the undisputed evidence establishes the existence of the charges set forth in the notice of violation and accept the county's recommendation as by order. That will take us to agenda item 9, staff or citizen input on any subject. Not everybody at one time. So article
nothing from us, Your Honor.
12 will stand and adjourned.
County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is if I got some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.